to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grabbed my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face. Now he's got a hell behind the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I bow down to my knees when I pray. In my city gritty, gotta keep it on your waist. Or you might be a victim, they'll find you DOA. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you.
Well, welcome everybody. We're here. It is round 2. We're here at Watkins Glen, and yeah, we're getting ready to just kicking off qualifying now. Joined in the booth by Alex. How are you doing, Alex?
I am good. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, okay. A little bit of a rough start there. Just getting used to how this whole operation works, but I think we're pretty good now. We're pretty much rolling.
That's fair enough. It's always nice to be here running for the ACC comms once again.
Yeah, and if it's anything like yesterday, it should be a very, very interesting race.
Yes, very much so. I believe we're on with Van Phillip on the in the Lamborghini here on his first flying lap going through Watkins Glen. What do you think of the track?
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of this particular track. I think it's.
What car do you drive?
Well, I've driven both the Aston and the GTR here, and neither particularly like this track. But I do know that it is a particularly fond for mid-engine cars. That seems to be the go here. So if you're in a Honda, apparently the McLaren not 100% good, but many of the other cars are quite good. If you're in
I've heard I've heard good things about. I think particularly the Honda around here is pretty good.
Yeah, well, the Honda seems to be good pretty much everywhere at the moment. It seems to be kind of the new meta car for a lot of tracks. That and the BMW still going strong, but yeah, when it comes to mid-engines, there's a lot of people picking up the Honda.
Yeah. What do you sort of expect times to be like for this session for Split Ascari?
Yes, we're on Split Ascari. Yeah. Yeah, for Split Ascari, I don't know, I think we'll see similar times to what we saw yesterday. I think 143s will be the top, and then we'll probably go to, let's say, maybe 144s making up the bulk of the fields, and then 145s a bit further down the end. But, you can see a big variation here, but a lot of good drivers. So I expect to see the times pretty well. Our current top time.
We do have some times on the board.
Yeah, so our current top time is from Lamb. So he just did 143. So yeah, definitely.
May need to bring that up on the timing board on the side.
Is that an in-game option that I need to change?
Might be in the broadcast settings.
Does not appear to be, so just give me a moment, folks. I may have to just duck into the menu quickly. It may be in my HUD settings that I don't have lap time. No, lap time is enabled. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure why we're not getting that data. Let me just double check some things and talk a bit more about the track, I suppose. There we go.
Looks like we had some F1 news.
Sorry? Formula 1, our Formula 1?
Vettel has just announced his retirement.
Oh, real Formula 1. Oh, really? That's a shame. I mean, he's had a good run, but definitely not what you'd expect.
That is the first part of the cookie crumbling for F1, and yep, Sebastian Vettel, who just recently joined Instagram, looks to have retired.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Well, we'll talk about that more later, but for the moment we still have a qualifying to run, and we're currently on board with this is Bendig.
Yeah,
that car does not look as ugly as it normally does.
It still looks pretty ugly though. It's doing a good effort there.
No, it can be a lot more ugly. It has been a lot more ugly. Bendig goes up into P9.
Yeah, good time there. So
got a Nissan in the top 5 from behind.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a very nice effort in the 91. Very nice number, by the way, that number 91.
Number 91. Is it you fond of the 91? Is there a particular reason for that?
It's my number.
Ah, I see. There's these two so 5th position there in a 144. I do apologise. I don't know why I'm not getting the full data and receiving all the timing on the tower. I do have the times here beside me, but I can't broadcast them out, unfortunately. So I don't know, but if anybody experienced with our broadcasts in the chat does mention it, if there is an in-game option that I haven't selected, please let me know, because I'm not entirely sure why we're not getting those times up at this point in time. But we'll keep you up to date. We'll just have to do it a little bit old school and read it off the board as we go through. So current top time here is Ali. And most recently, I'm only seeing their current times. So something is definitely wrong here. But that's okay. We'll move on because Lamb's just passed him for the lead position. And then we've got Senecas. 3rd position, Reagan in 4th. Aaron Lee down there in 5th position. That's our top 5 at the moment. And you can see the times do appear for a brief period of time down the bottom there. So their best time, 1:44.6. So good times overall.
Some very quick times overall. And I mean, even though the BMWs may not be the strongest here, they're still making up P3 and P4 at the moment with Sneakers and Herbert, I believe that is. So I'm having a bit of trouble reading the timing screen at the moment, but I believe we're currently on board with Precchiato in P11. And yeah, track has only just gone to optimum, so we should see some quicker times appear soon.
So our top 10 time at the moment is 1:45, pretty much 1:45 dead is what you need to get into the top 10 right now, with Shane making out that top 10 for the current moment. But as you said, the track is really starting to grip up now. We've got 6 minutes left of this qualifying session, so there's still time to put some better laps in.
Lamb and Kyron have come to the pits. Kyron's just exiting the pits now, so that's for a few are coming in for fresh sets of tyres now to go again on a second set.
Yeah, definitely a few people doing that. We've got Senecas, Reagan and Lamb all in the pits. So maybe we'll just, as you say, and then they go, all 3 of them going out almost at the same time. So Matthew Lamb, our current pole sitter, looking to hopefully jump up in the Porsche and maintain that that lead he's got now. But he's pretty far ahead. He's got a decent gap to Ali behind.
Kyron is a very quick driver though, so I'm sure he'll be looking to make up some time on Lamb.
Absolutely. But Senecas is no slouch either, so we'll definitely have to see what he can do.
The only thing is that BMW is a slouch unless you put it in the hands of Mr. JP Senecas.
Yeah, that's
see if
true.
his brother can do a similar thing.
Definitely true there.
Currently, our lead Pro-Am driver is McClaws in P5, and our lead M-Class driver is Hind in P7. So McClaws doing a 44.5. Now, Villeneuve has just gone ahead of McClaws.
Yep, jumping up there into 5th position in the Porsche. The Porsche doing pretty well here, I must say.
In the trans flag car, good to see.
Yeah. Showing some pride there. A few Porsches in this field, actually.
Porsche things.
Yeah. I can imagine the Porsche being reasonably well here. It's got good rotation, which would definitely help you at this particular track. We've got
although that's a bit too much rotation for Villeneuve. Just probably a bit too much curb, but maybe a little bit of grass.
Just a little bit too much there, I think. Okay, let's go back ahead to our lead Porsche here. Hasn't improved his time, so 1:43.5, but that's a good time. So hopefully...
I'd say the last lap was an out lap, so this lap will be his first lap on the new set.
Yep. That's true.
And then maybe a little bit of warm-up involved in this, so I don't think we'll see this lap see an improvement, although next lap should be an improvement based on the time model.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look a little bit further down in the field. Who do we like a bit further down? Who do we think we should have some focus on here, who's been showing a bit of promise? Maybe perhaps...
I'm rather impressed by Parkin in P17 after struggling quite a bit last week. He's having a solid run of it so far in the Ferrari. With a 45.2, you can definitely find more time in the 0x car. But he's ahead of some very quick drivers, including Zarskas and Niferus, so doing very nicely at the moment.
Yeah, doing well in that AM class. Third in class at the moment, with Breen taking the second spot in the Mercedes, which is quite well. The Mercedes is apparently not the best around this track. Obviously having...
Also, I'm currently rather surprised where Rashushi is in P17 after winning in Kailami last round. Is now in a bit stuck a little bit in the mid pack. Hopefully he can improve on that time.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Lamborghini definitely can post pretty good times here. We see a couple of them in the field. We've got 7th place Marcus is also in the Lamborghini. He's doing quite well. You just have to see if he can turn out that better time. Maybe he's just saving it all for the end, saving all the gas for the last minute there. We can have a look at it.
Not a bad tactic, although you definitely like to get some nice bankers on the road as we take a look at the fastest sectors. And so far, it's Lamb dominating the middle and third sector. But who's actually fast in that first sector?
Fast in the first sector. Yeah, there must be someone very far down the list by the looks of things. I can't quite scroll my field down. Let's use the alt tabbing there. Okay, so we're only getting the top 24 at our timetable. I'll definitely have a look at the MFD setting.
Are you able to scroll?
A bit of a break. No, unfortunately, it's not letting me scroll.
Ah, damn.
Just what I was just double checking on the alt tab to do, but that's okay. We can go back and have a look at a bit more of the action on track as we get to Seneca's third place. Still holding on to it. Not much change in the order, really. Everybody's still pretty much staying as they were.
Crossland, another driver you'd expect to be a little further up in the Golf livery Audi of Rainlight Racing. Currently a 45.1, so definitely a bit of improvement to be found there. As Parkin's moved up into P12 just behind Con Hind. And Parkin is now in the pits, so that will be his qualifying done, but a very solid effort from the AM class driver.
Yeah, absolutely. Right up there with Hind as well, so top 2 positions. But I got to give a shout out to Hind. Not only is he a good bloke, but he's also a Nissan driver, which makes him...
And he's also running the number 91, so he's obviously the GOAT of ACC, so
it's
actually going to be coming around the final corner now. Will he find some improvement on his time? His current best is a 44.6. Connor crosses the line now and does not move any positions, about a 10th and a half time.
It was close there at the end.
What's Lamb doing at the moment?
Maybe it's coming around. He's on a minute at the moment, and he's just coming into the start of Sector 3, so we'll see if there's any change in order.
Kyrun and Sneakers have finished up their laps, so they will not be improving any further. Can Lamb extend his lead out the front? So we see a bit of movement at the back. Zarskas has moved up. Looks like Villanueva is going to hold on to that P5 position unless Seville can do anything about that for the Pro-Ams? No, into the
That's
pits.
Sabille into the pits as well. It looks like
And
everybody-
Lamb's coming around the final corner now. Current best is a 43.377 and
He
improves
does
to a
better.
43.150. That is rapid from Matthew Lamb.
Very good time there. Well done.
Half a second clear of anyone else. That is just incredible.
It's going to be the one to beat, I think.
And there we go. We have our grid order for the race here for Split Ascari.
Yep, it's all ready to go. So he's hoping we have a good race. We have a good clean race. We had a little bit of trouble in last night's split. Not the first turn, the second turn. Through those S's there. That was a bit dangerous for everybody. So let's hope for a better start for these guys and see what they can do. As we can take a quick look at our top 24 at least here. Or can we? No, we can't. Of course we can't. That's okay. But we can see on the grid field there. So we do have Lamb in first, Karut in second, next in third, Herbert, Villanueva, Wilson, Zarkis, McClaws, Zabeel, and Van Vliet. All in the top 10 there, with Hind being our pole sitter as far as the AM class is concerned, and Villanueva doing the Pro-Am there. Do you think maybe Pro-Am perhaps a little bit low of a class for Villanueva, or do you reckon?
Well, we had a similar thing happen last night with, I believe it was Taylor in the Honda. And he had issues at the start and dropped back but recovered to P8. But Villanueva in P5, that's very nice in a fairly competitive field. So we'll see. But I mean, even McClaws and Sabille, P8, P9, doing solid jobs. But there's a loss of pros in this class. So you just never really know, do you?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to happen, and it's definitely a tricky track, and you can get unstuck pretty easily around here. So it's definitely work.
Well, I mean, I think some drivers may take that go bowling signage a little too literally.
We do have a safety car at least for Split Ascari today, so hopefully we won't need it, but at least it is there for this split. Unfortunately, didn't
You
have a safety
may
car.
need to press pause drive, by the way, just.
Oh, yes. Should just jump into that. Cool. And I believe we should have our timing up now. Thank you.
Here we go.
Thank you to Glen in Discord for letting me know that.
Thank you, Mr. Glen Peabody. That is very well done from you. And we now have some timing, so we can get this race underway with the formation lap now.
Yeah, we can have a quick look at everyone in the field. So I think Lamb's obviously going to be our favourite, given that he's almost done a 142 there, very close to it. That's one of the fastest laps I think I've seen anywhere at this particular track. It's a fairly new track, so everyone's still trying to work it out, but that is a quick time. But shout out to Kairo too in a top place there as well, in a Mercedes, which again I've heard is not the best car to drive around here. So well done, well done there.
Yeah, I'm still quite surprised by Rashidi down in P19. That's much different compared to where he was at Kyalami. So we'll see whether that was just bad luck in qualifying or whether that was just true pace of his Lamborghini.
It is, also, it comes down to the track as well. Sometimes certain tracks favour particular drivers and some tracks don't. Tracks like Watkins and Spa, two of the most popular tracks I'm particularly not fond of, and I don't particularly like racing here. Which is going to be fun because we've got 10 hours of it next Saturday. So that'll be an interesting race for me to do 10 hours.
That's going to be very fun.
It'll be fun for everybody, I hope.
Be fun as a viewer, that's for sure.
Yes. have to see if I can get some commentary time in between my stints there. I have to see if I can arrange a nice bit of even space for myself. Come on here and chat with everybody. Shout out once again to our safety car, the wonderful Gianetta. It's an awesome machine. Just look at it.
So we've actually got some news in from Fighty. Bendik is struggling with COVID.
Ah, I did see that too, actually. Yes, I did see that mentioned. So
Bendik's actually doing a very solid job to even be racing here with COVID, because we know how much it can wear you down, but looks like they're starting to go double file now, so we'll be approaching the start of this race very, very soon.
Yep. Starting to grid up in position. And we're all just sort of praying for a nice safe turn 1. But,
what's a safe turn 1?
Well, yeah, okay, get your Fs ready in the chat.
Although, to be fair, Ascari was very, very quick at Kyalami, so we will see what happens. Although, Watkins Glen is a very different beast.
Yeah, definitely. Much narrower and almost completely different characteristics. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. But we're lining up now as we get ready for the start. I'll let you call this one.
Alright, so we've got Lamb from Kai Ruden, Sanikas, Herbert, Villanueva, Wilson, McClaws, Zaskas, Sybil, and Van Fleet, the current top 10 as we are waiting for the green light to go, and we are underway. Lamb gets a good start, Villanueva gets a solid start, Sneakers gets an awful start, and they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. This ended in tears last night, but they've gotten through. Lamb is through, followed by Kai Ruden. Further back, we're looking on at Josh Breen, and they all seem to have gotten through turn 1 nicely.
Very
Can't
nice.
see any yellow flags on the track map because there is none, but that is all good. We're still going. Oh, that looked very close between a Honda. We've got side by side for the lead. Kai Ruden is going for the lead around the outside towards the bus stop and takes the lead against Matthew Lamb. Brilliant move, just using the power of that Mercedes to wipe past the Porsche of Lamb that struggles in a straight line. But Kai Ruden into the lead, followed by Lamb, Herbert, Sanikas, Villanueva, Zaskas, Van Fleet, Wilson, McCaws, and Lee.
Great start there.
And it looks like we could have a safety car.
Yeah, it looks like we could. Let's have a quick. We can bring up our track map. Yes, we are
We've got
under a safety car.
Parkin, who is parking it up. Yep. Apparently a big bus stop crash, so may need to look at a replay of that.
Yeah, we can bring up a replay. Just give me a moment. Do we know who was involved?
I'd say,
Same
based on the fact that there's a bit of a divide in the pack, we should probably look towards maybe one of the drivers who was towards the back. I'd say probably not 367, because that seemed to be before bus stop, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happened to that 367 car of Parkin.
Back. Just go back. Sorry, we can't have quite as smooth replays. Maybe we'll just do it. A bit of an old-fashioned way, like we did yesterday. We'll hit the
nice manual.
Yeah, we'll do a manual replay just so we don't miss out on anything. But it does appear that has not worked.
Yeah, it does take a while to get back to it properly.
We'll just give it a minute. We'll get that replay up, guys. Sorry. Bit of teething problems. Okay. We're not getting replay screens up.
Maybe quick drive and then replay?
Drive, replay.
Nah, it's not doing it.
Interesting. Oh, we'll go back to live pictures. I'll figure out a replay.
Well, if you've gone back to live pictures, now you should be able to go on the replay.
Bingo, there we go. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the start there.
Do we want to bring up the HUD, click on one of the drivers a bit further back, maybe?
Go back. Let's go back to 20th position. Nice cut right in the middle of the field. Okay, so we're looking at formation lap here. All right, let's have a quick look here. Let's go to our helicam. It's usually the best for seeing incidents.
Oh, there was
Whoa.
already a bit of congestion on the start.
Already there.
They were going 4 wide back here. That's ballsy. Seemed to
See
get
an
through
incident.
all right.
Yeah, they did seem to get through, so maybe it's a little bit further up. But
Oh,
there
and,
we go.
and there's what happened to the 367 car.
That's the 367. So did we have more chaos further up? Or was... Surely that's not the
I
cause.
heard bus stop was a
Bus
corner.
stop is what we're looking at.
Oh, there's
There we
an
go.
accident, and here we go. Cars everywhere. There was just a car crossing the middle of the track there.
Yep.
To be a McLaren.
Chaos all at the back of the field.
Oh yeah,
there.
that was not very kind.
No.
So unfortunately, that left Ascari. Oh yeah, that was a big accident. Looked like that was Lee who was stuck across the track.
Yeah.
So we it's still on the safety car conditions. We've got 55 minutes to go, which means the pit window will be opening very, very soon.
So let me get our track map up. There we go. Apologies. We are working our way through some of these issues. They must be
go.
getting ready to go.
Yeah, pit window is now open.
Yeah, so a 60-minute race tonight. Different format to last week where we had two small, two shorter races, one 20-minute, one 40-minute. So now we've got one big long 60-minute race with one mandatory pit stop. So pit window opens. It's a pretty generous pit window. So you've got a pretty much open slather for strategy, but I imagine there will be, or would have been, a couple of cars going into the pits at the beginning of the safety car period to repair some damage, which I'm sure people picked up from that incident we saw there at the bus stop, a very unfortunate incident.
Well, Kyrunen's gone very early there.
Very early.
Yes, safety car comes in. He's left Lem in the dust. Wow, that's a really good restart from Kyrunen.
Yes, just absolutely smashing it down the front straight into the first corner. But that Porsche can definitely brake a little later, but he's holding on to it. As we let's have a little bit look back a bit further in the field, make sure everybody's getting through okay. We've got Hines there, who was, as Chat mentioned, quite lucky to get through, but single file does seem to have helped here as everybody...
Oh, so Preciado had gone wide, and that has let Hind through. So Hind up in the P12 ahead of Preciado.
Very good.
Now the other Nissan of Nippris is challenging a Preciado going down into the bus stop. Will Nippris have a look? He's gone out to the inside, but has backed out of it. But nicely indeed.
Very well done there. In a bit of a Nissan sandwich there, which I always like to see.
Well, it's a McLaren sandwich with the Nissans as the bun. I don't...
Do you define the sandwich by what's inside the sandwich?
Well, yes, because you don't call it a bread sandwich.
Alright, yeah, I concede that, yeah. Fair point. So a McLaren sandwich with Nissan bread here.
Because I never understand that saying, because they all call, oh yeah, it's like a Mercedes sandwich, or it's a Ferrari sandwich. No, it's whatever is inside the sandwich that is the sandwich, not what's on the outside.
Go on board here. A bit of a battle behind them as well.
But yeah, that is my daily Alex fact for you.
That's the daily one, okay. We'll remember that the saying about something being in a sandwich is incorrect because we don't call it a bread sandwich. I concede that does make logical sense there. So Code's still leading from Lamb at the front there. The gap mostly maintained. We go back to the front here. Still pretty close, and he's going to have trouble in the Porsche trying to keep up with the Mercedes. That Mercedes has definitely got a lot of power. to really push through these straights. But around the bendy bits, that Porsche is definitely going to have a good angle on things.
Yes, definitely. And with Lamb's precision, the corners will definitely be his strong suit. So Cairo will have to look out, but will have the mighty straight line speed of the Mercedes helping.
It's really advantageous that he was able to get right up ahead in the early stages, even before the safety car. That's definitely helped, I think, because I think it's going to be easier to stay ahead and defend in the Mercedes than it would have been to overtake.
Yes, I think the fact that the run through the S's is mostly flat, so you can get a nice slipstream and a good run going down to the bus stop, especially when your opponent is a Porsche with basically 2 horsepower.
Yeah. Go back a little bit to Villanueva, being chased here, very close here. Currently our leading Pro-Am.
That is Zarskas behind, the number 21, the leading McLaren of this race.
They're keeping it very clean now after the restart. Doesn't look like too many incidents.
We've heard that 55 was around, according to Mr. Diabols in chat.
55 had an incident a bit earlier, apparently. 55, another Porsche. Well, Porsches are going to go around.
Was in P27, now in P29, so I reckon there was a little bit of an incident.
Yeah.
As Rashuti has a drive-through penalty. That is a big penalty. Wow. That is a massive penalty for the race 2 Kyalami winner. So we see, what's that? Oh, that is Lewis and Mcdonald going side by side through the S's.
Getting
Be
touchy.
careful, there's a touch.
Ferraris.
There was a touch between the 2 Ferraris.
Got Lewis behind, just sort of biding the time there in the... sorry, that's Lewis. And
oh, they're still going side by side to the bus stop. Wow. And McDonald's gotten the move done. That is a very audacious move, but it's paid off for him.
yeah, he's done quite well there.
It was 42 around, not 55. So McLaws was around. Yeah, McLaws was further up the field, so McLaws is down to P26. Meanwhile, we do have a few 10-second penalties. There's Vediga and Rowe with 10-second penalties, most likely for start procedure.
Yeah, or possibly getting caught up in that incident. Maybe not slowing for yellows or something like that.
Typically, those 10-second penalties this early on are mostly for those start infringements, as Lewis is going rather slowly here.
Yeah, I saw he went off at just exiting the boot there. So he went very wide and went off track, so he's lost a couple of positions there, unfortunately.
Struggling a fair amount in that Ferrari. I mean, the Ferrari can be a bit of a handful, but at the moment it's not playing nicely with Steve Lewis in the 959 Pro-Am car.
No, definitely.
We see just up ahead, moves for P24. That is McNulty and McLaws. So McLaws is the one who runs very wide. As Lamborghini rejoined the track. Oh, that was close. I believe that was Stockton.
Yes, I believe so. And yeah, it was a very dicey rejoin there.
Oh, here we go. McLaws and McNulty, 2 BMWs. Lewis is right behind here, ready to pick up the scraps. So too is Lee. And McNulty holds the position for now. That is a Mercedes, and that would... that...
Not sure who that Mercedes was. I didn't catch the number there.
We will see if anyone drops down. Otherwise, it was a blue flag car.
Potentially.
Oh, was that Lewis around? I'm pretty sure Lewis was around.
Yeah, I think Lewis.
And that was Breen who went around at the bus stop.
It's held up. There's a big ball of traffic behind him now. Having a lot of trouble in that 959 in the last couple of laps, the opening stages of this race. Struggling a fair bit.
Look at this train of cars. This does not look fun if you're coming through the field.
Does seem to be having a little bit of an issue keeping that car under control, doesn't he?
Oh, he's having a lot of trouble with the car. Is the condition of the track changed or something? Because that does not look very normal. That just looks very loose all of a sudden. I don't know whether that's the setup that Lewis is running, or whether that's condition of the track, or maybe a bit of damage.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the ambient temperature is still 19 degrees. The weather's still cloudy. Looking for a move there, but not quite taking it. But then again, going
but Lewis
wide.
very wide. So that's Bendik up the inside with COVID, getting up to P27, doing a solid race so far for someone who is at probably 20% efficiency.
Yeah, just taking that position. Patience paying off there for him, though.
Meanwhile, we've got another 10-second penalty. That is for Park in P31, a 10-second penalty for the BMW driver.
Yeah, must have been involved in another incident there as well. Fair few penalties, but not too many penalties. You know, everybody seems to be keeping their nose pretty clean here. So we should perhaps take a look back up the field at our leaders, because Lamb is very close. Chasing down P1 here. Almost right on the tail with him.
It's indeed very, very tight, and Lamb will have a little bit of a slipstream going into turn 1, but will it be enough? I don't know where it will be, although braking efficiency, we will see. Forced to go around the outside, nothing happening there. Will Kai Rudin stay on the track? Yes, he will, but that will compromise his run slightly, but that Mercedes is a beast in a straight line, so we will see.
Focused here. We'll see how close they are.
Just not able to gain anything on the straights is Lamb, so at the moment Kyrune holds on, which basically means when Lamb pits, Kyrune pretty much has to pit with him, otherwise he's going to lose position, you'd expect.
Yeah, only 15 minutes into the race, so a lot of things could change, but yeah, that's pretty much how it is. But yeah, you wonder if an undercut is a viable option for Lamb. Perhaps he could come in, pit early, because we know he's got a lot of pace out of the car, and the track isn't too full. If he gets out and pits, there is a lot of traffic out there, so doing an undercut...
Yeah, do need to be mindful of that.
Might not be the best option for him, but he definitely has the pace, and if he feels like he's being held up, it could be an option for him. It might be something he considers, but
I don't think you'd want to consider it at this point in the race, though.
Yeah, and the Porsche itself too, not 100% great on tyres as well, so you might not want to stretch the tyre life any further than he has to. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he won't take the risk, and he'll be a bit conservative here and put some more confidence in his own abilities to overtake on track. We go back down to 5th again, our Pro-Am leader. Very close to Regan there.
Van Fleet isn't too far behind. As Zarskas is coming to the pits at the 43-minute mark.
Yeah, coming in for a bit of an early pit stop, but not too early. It's definitely something that you know, we could potentially see some strategy in here. Maybe just he's finding himself in a little bit too much traffic. You know, he'll probably get some fairly clear track once he comes out of pit lane here. So we might have to see. We've got anybody else in the pits at the moment? We have...
That would be the Merc that spun around early, so that would be Breen.
That's Breen, yeah. So it looks like he may be on for a long repair or a retirement at this stage.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a retirement, because that is a green pit thing, so that might be it.
Might be it for him. Unfortunate. Let's go back up. 10th position, leading AM driver.
In P10 at the moment, ahead of Rowe and behind Seville, so making some good ground at the moment.
Yeah, doing very well.
He's just behind a blue flag car, I believe that is.
Yes, that will be a blue flag.
Would that be Rashushi?
Yes, that is Rashushi. Are they passing just now? Letting him through nicely there, I think.
Rashushi not having a great race at the moment after that drive-through.
Yeah, unfortunately struggling a bit at the back. very hard to recover time on a track like this. It's very hard to find that clear air that we were talking about before. As we go to our leaders again, they just continue to stay very close together. There's a couple of little battles going on. It's sort of P1, P2 very close together. Then we've got P3, P4 quite close together. A little pack.
This is once again pretty close, but I don't know whether Lamb gets enough of a slipstream off the Mercedes.
Yeah, just don't think it's cutting the air enough for him. If it was a GTR, it'd be cutting a big block through the air for him. But the Mercedes may be a bit too sleek.
Possibly, although that Porsche isn't huge either.
He's definitely giving good chase there, though.
This race is going to come down to pit stops for the lead.
Yeah, they're definitely quite evenly matched, time-wise.
Well, you'd expect, considering Lamb has the fastest lap and has been stuck behind for many a lap, as that's a 277 car around the final corner.
.277.
I believe it was 277 or something like that. Or I can't quite tell. Yeah, oh, that is big damage for Park.
BMW. Very sad.
That is massive damage.
We'll be able to do this as his pit stop though, so it won't be too bad. We'll see.
It's still going to be pretty bad.
It's a long pit stop for Park there, so probably an unfortunate end to that race there.
Yeah.
We can see here, we can have a quick look at the time too. So best lap so far with 144 dead for Lamb. So track a little bit slower, but you can expect that during the race, and full fuel loads and all that kind of stuff. I imagine the Porsche will do much better with less fuel, and he'll be able to crack those faster times. Then if we look at Kyrud, very close in lap times if you look at them there. So, you know, I think you're right. I think maybe pit stops will decide who jumps out in front in this race, because these two are quite evenly matched. So a good race regardless. Not much change in our top 10 or much further down the field. Seems like most drivers are settling in. And not a big change here. Ooh, we've got a car around. Ooh, just not sure what happened there.
Rowe was in P11 but had a 15-second penalty.
Yeah, and he's spun around, and so he may have dropped a position or two. Looks like we do have a slower car coming up as well, just ahead of him. No, he's gotten through that okay. Back to our leaders again, but we should look for someone else.
Villanueva's up in the P4.
He has, yeah, you're right. We missed that. That's happened just obviously in that break there where we quickly switched around. So he's jumped that position. Well done.
Very nice job in that Porsche with Herbert now being put under pressure from Van Fillet.
Definitely.
And hello JC, wonderful to have you in the chat as well as everyone else here. Ultimate Local, Don Tafaiti, Diabols, Megan D, Paul Berger, Sam Bogdan, Skarnan, so many of you here. Great to see you.
Yeah, as always, thank you everybody for tuning in. Car 580 again looks like had another spin or something there. We just missed out on it, but not entirely sure.
Replay,
yeah.
The instant replay.
The instant replay. We can probably go back. No, now that he appears to have left the track.
The session, you mean?
Yeah, the session.
Yes, oh no.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to do an instant replay on that for you.
Oh, these two are Hind up the inside.
Hind.
Wow, that is wonderful move.
It's a fantastic move, and
I thought they were going to come together there, but they got through there, and Hind is into P9.
I must
This
say,
is a really strong effort from Hind in a Nissan.
absolutely. In the Nissan is not very strong at this track, and to be
The
able to...
Nissan is a dog at a lot of these tracks.
All right, calm down. Like, all right.
Hey, no. I've driven the Nissan before. I know how much of a struggle it can be.
Yeah, particularly at this track and at that corner, that is definitely a challenge.
And Sabilla's in. Sabilla's in.
Sabilla's
So
coming in, probably looking to just see if they can make the most of their loss of position there and maybe get it back in the pits. But well done to Hind there, doing excellent things in the Nissan.
put him into Pro-Am already.
He should be in Pro-Am, I think, showing excellent speed, excellent pace, and good racecraft. You know, that was a very good, nice, clean pass we had there. We could look at our next place AM driver, it's Tom Mcdonald, who's quite quick themselves. Did very well in the rookie series last season. And
Did have a few incidents in Kyalami, but so far has been very clean. So has touched up on his driving a little bit, has been able to learn from his outing at Kyalami, and is so far doing a really nice job.
Yeah, and 100%. That's what we want to see. We want to see sort of, you know, when people come through from the rookies, we want to see improvement. Oh, we've got a car off just in front there. Was that our tipper had a bit of an off track there, which has let Piper through. So we've got another Nissan closing in on that top 10.
Nissan supremacy.
Yeah.
Well, we have two in the top 10 because Nepris is in 10th.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, so that's it. That'll be a third one in there. Piper can put some more positions up there because we've got Nepris, who's a little bit further back from Hind. Hind is quite a bit further up track, so a little bit safer. Nepris still being under attack here from the McLaren behind. But
That is Preciado.
yeah, and Preciado giving him a bit of hassle, but look, they're doing the brand proud in Split Ascari here, I must say. Well done.
Yep. The Godzilla's doing God's work at the moment.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, out front, the gap between Kyrun and Lamb is still very tight, but Lamb just still not able to find anything.
Yeah, they just seem to be training around.
Meanwhile, that battle for P4 is not over. Herbert has caught back up to Villanueva, with Van Philip right behind.
He's
As Preciado comes into the pits.
yeah, starting to see a couple of drivers come through. We're about the halfway mark now, so that's definitely where we'll see the vast majority of drivers come in for a pit stop. Most people do a 50-50 strategy. It's pretty safe. It's pretty straightforward there. But yeah, that is our, I think, the first of a few pit stops we'll start to see in the next few minutes.
Yeah, it's starting to get to that halfway point, so yeah, we'll definitely see a few more in. I reckon Lamb might be looking at coming into the pits very, very soon, or possibly trying to do the opposite of Kyrun and go a little longer, try and do an overcut.
Yeah, it just depends on how much confidence he has in the tyres and how much fuel he's taken on and, yeah, what he can do there. Unfortunately, Piper has had an incident. If we can go back far enough. No, that's not quite far enough. But he's obviously gone off track there at some point there, Piper. So, yeah, not having the best time. So he's dropped down out of the top 10 now. He may see Piper jump into the pits, I think, at the earliest possibility. As we see Nipris heading into the pits. We've also got Crossland still sitting there in the pits as well.
Stop go 30 for Crossland.
Yes, so he's a stop go 30, so serving a penalty there.
That would most likely be for pit lane speeding, you would expect.
You would assume something of that nature, and well, hopefully nothing too much. Preciado is the first sort of main contender to be out. So we'll
Piper's also into the pits.
see if he does have a bit of clean track ahead of him. So he might be able to make that time up that he lost. So it might have been a good strategy there to go into the pits and see if he can get a bit of an undercut on the guys ahead.
Nepris has come out of the pits. Where will he be compared to Preciado? They were right up close on track. Nepris has come out ahead.
Yeah, come out well ahead.
It's very nicely done from Nepris. So Preciado just not quite getting the best outlap, and yeah, Nepris jumps him in the pits.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a little bit of traffic in the way there, and that's forced him. We see Lamb in the pits. So second place now in the pits, so Kairu's
Well, no,
won.
it's not really traffic. It's a driver who is also coming to the pits, Sibyl, right behind Nepris.
Yeah.
And before, Sibyl was fighting Hind. So it seems the McLarens may have had a few issues with the pit stops.
Yeah, definitely a few interesting things going on there. But we've got Hind and Lamb both in the pits, so we'll see where they come out pretty shortly.
This is crucial for Lamb now. If Lamb has a good pit stop, then it's all down to Kairudan. Kairudan's really got to push, and I'd say he'll be in at the end of this lap to try and cover off from any possible undercut.
That's right.
It is now or never for this race. Will it be Matthew Lamb or will it be Ali Kairudan taking the lead this race?
Yeah. So Lamb coming out of the pits now just as Kairudan is entering Sector 3, so pretty reasonable gap there.
The gap is reasonable, but we will see whether that causes any difference.
I have to imagine Kairudan coming into the pits now, but we will see. We will have to see what they do. No, still going for another one. So it looks like going for a bit of a longer strategy, Kairudan.
Wow.
Interesting to see when he decides to make the pit, as we see Hind now exiting the pits as well, coming out just ahead of Kairudan. But we'll see that change obviously once Kairudan does some pit
Hind
stops.
has come out, what's that, a fair way back from Nepris, Sibyl and Apreciado.
Yeah, I believe he had some damage, so that's the reason for that. Yeah,
Did he need to repair it though? He had really good pace.
he did have good pace, but you know, sometimes better to be safe than sorry. We see a few more people in the pits now. We've got Senecas, we've got Villanueva, and Wilson, all serving their
This battle
mandatory
between
pit stops.
I think this will be very crucial for this race.
Yes.
See Herbert continuing on for the moment.
Yeah, a couple of different strategies going on here. We've got Herbert, Van Vliet, and McCullough all still out on track waiting for their mandatory pit stops there. And Clark as well has yet to pit. As we see Villanueva now exiting the pits. So should hold on to a position reasonably well there. On the back of Senecas, who has pitted. And so there is for position here. They've come right up on each other. So no big advantage gained there. But haven't lost anything either in the pits, so that's good to see.
Looks like Kairudan is still going.
Still going around. Going for another lap, just chasing down Hind here. Hind obviously is a lap down. Is not technically a lap down, so he doesn't have to yield this position. But he does.
Well,
anyway.
he does.
None.
Because he was a lap down.
Oh, he is a lap. Yes, you're correct. He is blue flag.
P21 versus P1,
Yes,
that would
sorry.
be
Missed that. Yep.
all good.
Van Vliet.
This is the crucial pit stop to look at, where Van Vliet comes out in comparison to Villanueva, who is a stuck behind a little bit of traffic at the moment with a driver who hasn't pit, although it seems to have gotten past it.
Yeah, coming through there quite well.
When will Van Fleet go? Now, and exits the pits. Where will this be? I reckon this will be a bit close.
It's very
There's Van
close.
Fleet.
We're almost side by side there on the exit.
They are just about side by side on the exit.
They are still, yep, they're holding together there.
Wow, this is close racing.
Villanueva
Who's going to hold on?
Villanueva's going to have the exit, but he's not going to have the top speed, but doesn't seem like going to be able to pull ahead there, so...
Van Fleet's got it.
He's got it, but he is on slightly more worn tyres. Slightly fresher tyres, sorry, so they do need to warm up a bit, so you can't afford to be defending too hard at this stage, so just have to see if they can hold on to that.
There's Herbert's come in,
Herbert's
so
come into the pits.
now this is crucial. Will Herbert come out in front of these two?
Yeah. It's going to be pretty tight. He's only just sort of getting into his pit stall now. But Keller also in the pits behind, so... Next driver being Mcdonald, who has yet to pit, but I have to imagine will be looking for a pit reasonably soon.
Kai Rudin is going very long here.
Very long, yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting strategy going for the longest possible stint that they can there, which might pay off quite well. We have to see how it ends up. I mean, Lamb's in 7th position at the moment. Holding back a couple of cars behind. Senecas chasing down. Can't afford to sort of take the foot off at this stage with the next place drivers ahead being Mcdonald, who has yet to pit.
And here's Kyrune. Will Kyrune come in? Does not look like it. Still going.
Still going for another lap. This is a very interesting strategy we'll have to see here. As we see 13th, 14th, 15th there. Wood, Tipper.
Herbert's come out about 2 seconds behind Villanueva.
Yes.
So overcut not quite working for Herbert.
No,
but we'll have fresher tyres going to the end of this race.
Definitely. And we'll see if that pays off for them. Interesting to see how all these cars stack up against each other with tyre wear. This is a track notoriously hard on the front tyres in particular, on the left side, I believe. Or it might be the right side, I'm trying to remember. One side of the tyres having a bit more wear than the other. So we'll see how they stack up.
We've only got 2 drivers yet to pit, and that is Kai Rudin and Mcdonald. It looks like everyone else has come into the pits.
Yeah, just
Kai
these
Rudin's
two.
just going to enter the 3rd sector now.
Have to imagine a pit is almost overdue at this point, but you never know.
Could be looking for a good run at the end with fresher tyres, because you did say that the Porsche was a bit worse on the tyres. Although Kyrune is coming in.
He's in. That is Kyrune into the pits. So we'll have to see how Lamb manages this.
Well, where is Lamb on track?
Lamb is out here on track. So he's just about to finish Sector 2, just about to enter the boot, going around a lapped car there. Very nicely. Doing a great job there. He'll
Almost
be
into Sector 3 now.
Screaming towards the front. Neither of these guys would have had damage, so that's not going to be a factor in the length of their pit stops, you'd imagine. And there's no real other differentiating factors between the two. It is going to be very close to see who comes out on top here. I think Kyrudin might have him. He sits there in the pit stop.
I know, I reckon Lamb's got it. That's a bit wide.
You're taking bets in the chat.
Ali got moved in pits, so that's that. So Ali missed his pit box.
Misses.
And there goes Lamb.
That's it. What a shame. There goes Lamb taking that position. So went for a bit of a different strategy there. Didn't quite pay off, but there's still 20 minutes of the race to go. Can Kyrudin catch back up? And, you know, the pace was almost identical there. So
What was identical when Lamb was behind Kyrudin? Will Lamb be faster than Kyrudin now that there's a bit of cleaner air?
very true. Very good point there. We'll have to see if Lamb can pull away.
Kyrudin is only 2.5 seconds back though, so I reckon if he wasn't moved in the pits, it may have been enough.
Yeah, I think it might have been enough. They are not.
Damn. So it's just those little errors that you can make in the pit stops.
That's it. Meanwhile, leader of the race currently, the AM driver Tom Mcdonald, has
Red
yet to
flag
pit.
it, red flag it. Stop the race, stop the race, call the result. Stop the polls.
Has not pitted just yet. You got to imagine the tires on that Ferrari are starting to scream just a little bit, but you know, 40 minutes.
Just a little.
40 minutes is an okay run for a single set of tires, even around Watkins. So we'll have to see it. Yeah. So he's getting a. Do we give points for leading a certain amount of laps? And I think we do. So there's not much advantage to be gained.
We should.
Yeah. He's still going for another lap, so he's going for the longest possible haul. It'll be interesting to see how he...
Seems to be keeping it fairly clean at the moment, though.
Yeah, driving a very good race there at the front of the field, so good on him.
And at the moment, with the outlap for Kyrudin, it seems like Lamb is just that little bit faster at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see how they stack up against each other once it comes... Kyrudin's got a little bit more confidence back in the car, and the tyres are back up to temperature. But that is going to give Lamb a pretty big advantage, having pitted that a little bit earlier. So we'll just have to see how it stacks up. They are not far away from each other on track. Just look, the gap there is not massive. And he'll be seeing Lamb in his sights and doing his best to chase him down. Very good drive here from both of them.
Some good points in the chat though. If Mcdonald does not pit anytime soon, he is going to be right involved in this leading battle.
That's true. The gap he has is reasonably significant, so he could end up right in the mix with these leaders. So could be an excellent strategic move. So definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yes, but it could change the way that this race pans out, because if Lamb isn't able to get past Mcdonald quickly, that's just going to allow Kyrudin to soar right onto the back. But no, Mcdonald comes into the pits, so there goes that scenario.
Yeah, that scenario is
and
gone
Lamb
now.
goes through, so Mcdonald timing this very well.
Yeah. Good timing there. And now,
Question is, where will he come out?
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on him, but Matthew Lamb retakes the lead for the first time since the first lap, actually. He hasn't led. Actually, I don't believe he has led the race until now.
He took pole position, so technically that counts.
Does that count as a leading? I suppose so.
Well, the formation lap.
Yeah,
although
the formation
safety car
lap.
leads the formation lap. But still, this is the first time that Lamb has led since the first lap after taking pole position. But we will see whether Lamb's tyres can hold on for the remaining 17 minutes, or whether Kyrudin can start soaring up to the back of that Porsche and maybe look for a move into the bus stop once more like he did on the very first lap right before the safety car was called.
We can't also discount the possibility of a Porsche moment happening at some point as well.
Porsche momento. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Lamb in the second race at Kyalami, as Mcdonald
he's
is
received
out
a
into
stop-go.
P14.
But he's received a stop-go 30, I believe.
No!
For speeding in the pit lanes. That's been cleared. So
That will
that'll
most
probably
likely
be a
get
10
changed
second.
to a 10-second, yes.
That will... He's 14 seconds clear of McLaws behind him, so it might still be enough, but...
Well, no, he's not. He is 2/10 clear.
Oh, he's
of McLaws.
2/10 now. Yep, sorry. That time hadn't updated.
Don't worry, Kunos stings.
Yep.
Which means at this stage he'll be losing a few positions, but he's
Yes.
on fresh tyres, so he's got room to push.
Yeah, reasonably clear track ahead of himself, so we'll have to keep an eye on and see where he ends up. Let's look at our final podium sitter, Senecas, who's just been cruising along, really. He's got a nice clear track ahead and behind him, and just doing an excellent, consistent race. Good pit, good everything. Just doesn't seem to have missed much of a stride this race, so...
It's nice all-round race for Sneakers.
Yeah.
One of the many Sneakai.
Senecas. Is it Senecas too, by the way? Am I mispronouncing it Senecas?
Believe it is Sneakers,
It is Senecas.
but would need a Peg to confirm that.
We'll get that confirmed somewhere, I'm sure. Pronunciation is always confirmed at some point for us.
But for all we know, it's Sunkiss.
Sunkiss, yeah. The Hind has dropped a few positions, down in 12th now, so he's dropped out of the top 10. And Nipris has maintained their position there in 9th position, but still being... that battle hasn't stopped between him and Apreciado. They're still going at it. The Nissan and the McLaren still having a nice little battle there to see who gets that 9th position.
Preciado is looking everywhere for that position. Oh, I tried to go on the switchback, but Nipris was holding the line.
Very good defense there.
Alright, so we've got John Ekus and Sneakers, Reebok, Pumps, Nike Airs from the chat.
Sneakers, Reebok, Sneakers. So Sneakers. Got it. Thank you. I'll try and get that right from this point on.
Well, that wasn't from Peak himself, but we'll just assume as there's 2 yellow flags, 15 and 55. So 15 returns to pits.
55 is around and going backwards. Put your brakes on there. Doing a little bit of a slide flip.
No, it looks like has the 15 returned to pits or
yeah, it
left?
looks like 15 has returned to pits. We missed now.
Lamb binned it. Lamb binned it.
Yep, we'll have to go back to that. Unfortunately, I started a replay. We will get to
you can
where?
go back to real time, can you not?
It should be going back now. Where is... I've lost Lamb on my tower.
Was Lamb the one that disconnected?
It must, yes, because it's no longer on my timing tower. So something's happened there.
Go to the front, go to the front.
Yeah, we completely lost Lamb there.
Lamb is gone. I think Lamb was the one that left the session.
We'll have to get some confirmation from that. It might be worth having a look, seeing if anyone's mentioned something in the Discord to see what's happening there. Yeah, what a...
So was that Porsche things or was that some sort of network problem then?
Not entirely sure. We were off.
Because P just said Lamb binned or got murdered. Do you want to check replay?
We can go back and we can check a replay quickly because I think that's worth having a quick look at our replay. So let's jump to what kind of...
I'd say toggle HUD and then click on Lamb.
Yep. We'll go to Lamb.
And then we've got to go to lap. Just it's on the start of this next lap.
Yep, there we go. Okay, so he has had an incident. Let's have a look and see what happens to who was our race leader. So looking at the replay now.
It doesn't look like there's anyone around him. I think he did touch the wall on the exit of this corner though.
Yep. Little tap.
Yeah, just a little tap.
Nothing too major there, but it might be enough to have brought on some Porsche tings. Turn 1 seems to have been where the issue occurred, and just... Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
I reckon that could have been a bit too much curb. Either a bit too much curb on the inside at turn 1, or maybe just a little bit of the grass on the outside, and then, yeah, he's just rage quit.
An unfortunate end for our race leader there. Turn 1. The Porsche losing the rear end, as the Porsche thing likes to do, and sort of handed Kyrudin a bit of a victory here. Sneaker's still 4 seconds behind. Not sure if that gap can be closed, but you don't know. You know, we're in the closing stages, and Sneakers has got pace, so we'll have to see if
So we have
can
word
change.
from the man himself. He has absolutely no explanation, as he's never spun there before.
Interesting.
It's really unlucky, Lamb. You seem to have a few unlucky Porsche Tings moments at the moment, so hopefully you can bring it back later in the championship. But at the moment, it's Kyrune out front from Sneakers, Van Fillet, and now that battle between Van Fillet and Villanueva is for the podium.
There we go. Sorry,
That's
I'd lost my
0.2 per
mouse
second,
for a
those two.
bit. Very close together.
And car 26 is around further back. That is Piper again.
Car
Coming under
26
trouble.
Around.
Oh, and he's really stopped.
And he's gone to pits.
Ah, a bad day's gone worse for Benny Piper.
Yeah, very unfortunate there.
Let's head further back up.
Back again with this little battle here.
Herbert's just a bit back from this, although there's a close battle between Nipris and Appreciato still.
Yeah, it just continues on.
They're right there going into the bus stop, but nothing Appreciato can do because that Nissan is a bullet in a straight line. Probably one of its few good qualities.
It is quite quick in the straight line, but you really have to make that turn 1 work for you, otherwise it doesn't.
Yes.
Hold the pace.
Either have that turn 1 right or completely abuse the turbo.
Yep, that's it. But yeah, this battle not lightening up. Still going strong here.
There's a few key battles now with this P8 position, that P3 further up between Vanfield and Villanueva. You've got P13 between Mcdonald and McClaws, although McDonald does have that 10-second penalty. Either way, very strong race from McDonald, starting way down the order and now moving up into a very solid position.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Unfortunate to have picked up that pit lane speeding penalty, because that's probably going to be the thing that hurts the most for him. Otherwise, it's been a pretty seamless performance from him. But still, these two battle for our podium position now. Still chasing and keeping right on the tail there, and just a good performance from the Porsches mostly overall here. We've had quite some good drivers pushing it all the way here.
JC's put in some information. Wellerburn, favourite to win Becketts. He is driving. JC himself is actually driving injured, so don't laugh at him. So that's a note for you, Mike.
We'll have to remember
for
that.
split Becketts tonight.
Yep, it's coming up right after this race.
It's a bit of a blue flag moment up ahead with the Audi.
Yeah.
Will the Audi get out of the way sufficiently? Yes.
Gets out of the way.
But only for one of the drivers.
So probably going to hold up. I don't think Villanueva's going to be too happy about that Audi, but he manages to get through. Maybe takes on a bit too much curb there. It was probably not quite happy with that, but
yeah, won't be happy with that at all.
Tough spot for the Audi.
And now look at that gap, 1.5 seconds.
Definitely open that back up. So Van Vliet owing a little bit of a
Maybe
breather.
go back down to Appreciato and Niporus. That is a very, very tight battle.
Still tight battle here. Yeah, they are almost bumper
Right
to
up
bumper.
close to each other. I reckon we can see him move into the bus stop if Appreciato is able to hold on. Although Niporus gets a nice run out of the corner, although a little wide, but that should probably be enough going into the bus stop.
Yeah, as we see the GTR screaming away down the straight there, just definitely has that straight line speed. It looks like the overall exit has been good for him.
It has that early straight line speed from the power of the turbo.
Exactly, yeah. It's all
But
talking.
just struggles a bit during
He's
bus
lost
stop,
the
and that's
rear.
gotten loose, and that's up the inside. Oh, I thought Appreciato was going to have a dive up the inside of Niporus there.
Absolutely had a look. Didn't quite take it on board. But we've only got 5 minutes left, so if he's going to make a move, it's going to have to be reasonably soon. Doesn't want to leave the move too late. Ooh, very slow there.
He's got to be careful of Seville behind now too.
That's right. We've now
This is
turned into a three-way battle. All in the top 10, but all looking for a little bit higher position and getting a few more points out of it.
These two McLarens looking to make it a McLaren 789.
Yeah.
The typical dad joke.
Yeah, that's a good one though. I'll rate that joke. That'll count for me.
I mean, it
We
could
can vote
be
in
worse.
chat.
It could be 987,
It could, yeah. That would be worse.
but definitely won't be 897.
Definitely not. Definitely not. That would be absurd.
And the pit window is closed, but look at Appreciato right up close. Has a look up the inside, but nothing doing into turn one. But that has just compromised Niporus a little bit, and Appreciato is as close as he has ever been. So this is Appreciato's moment to run with the Nissan under the slipstream. Oh, but the Nissan just gets such a good run with the turbo, but as the straight lengthens, that advantage is going to drop, and that McLaren is going to get the straight line speed advantage with the slipstream, but no, not close enough.
Not quite. Oh no, we've got a bit of a moment there.
Oh, that was a blue flag Lamborghini.
Yes.
Wow, look at how close these two are. Appreciato going to have a go around the outside if you don't mind. Brakes late. Niporus getting loose on the curb. Oh, that looks close.
Can't quite make it stick. Excellent defense here from Niporus. Just doing very well. I mean, the GTR is wide, but he's making it much, much wider, as we see.
And all this is doing is allowing Hind to close closer and closer in, because this is about to become a four-way battle for P8.
Yep. Right up here, looking for P10. Going past the back marker there. Very close together, these four, so it's definitely all shaking up here. Doesn't look like much happening for the lead. Looks like Sneaker's not quite able to match the pace of Corridon sort of taking this one away. And Van Vliet not close to Sneakers either. So it really is a battle for these last couple of positions in the top 10, I think.
Yep. It's a four-way battle now with Appreciato right up close to Niporus. Might be worth jumping on board. Wow, this is close. Wow, this is close. But wow, the Nissan, such a good run out of the corners compared to the Macca.
Yeah, he's using the only real advantage that Nissan has at this track over any other car, which is down that straight. And
Appreciato gets a much better run through the bus stop though. Can't go around the outside, but is holding very close and should get a bit of a slingshot out of the corner. No, the Nissan just too strong on the exits.
yep.
What all this is doing is, Hind looking likely to possibly pick up a top 10, a double top 10 for the Nissan.
You see the view here. We can see all these four cars. These are all battling in here. Hind probably mostly really looking for that top 10 spot.
Looking at a move possibly on Sibyl. Maybe Appreciato as well. Highly doubt he'll get anything done on Nipris at this stage. It's far too late in the race.
Just have to see how well they can handle it. Have a look on board the rear view here of Nipris just to see just how close Appreciato is getting to his tail here. The race is coming closer and closer to the end. Oh, he's right up on his tail.
That is deep from Appreciato. That is going to invite possibly spill. No. But, blue flag. They've got to get around the blue flag car. That is going to hinder some of those behind. And Nipris has been able to breathe for a little bit.
Yeah, it's giving him a little bit of breathing room there, which I think he'll appreciate because it's just been lap after lap. He's being chased down by this McLaren. Seville holding on there, looking for an opportunity. They haven't got much left in it. We are getting very close to the end.
We need a mod in the chat quickly. We need a mod in the chat.
Oh, have we got a bot?
Yes, we've got a bot.
As we enter the final lap, so Kyrudin entering the final lap. Going to take a pretty nice victory here, but a well-deserved one, I think. Driven very well all race. Sneakers in second, fair bit behind, looking to hold on to that position, but it really is all about what's happening back here with this set of 4 cars. It doesn't look like we'll have a change of position, but they'll get one more.
No, they'll still have one more opportunity.
Yeah, they'll get one more opportunity. Yep, they've got one more lap after this, but we'll just have to see if any of these can jump up any position. Hind will definitely be looking to nab a top 10 as he goes very wide into that corner there, but does manage to hold onto it. So still a bit of a gap there for Seville. Just a little bit outside of striking distance.
What about from behind? Hind is close. Will he get enough of a run?
That's the thing.
He's closing slightly.
Yep, we're seeing that advantage we've been talking about that the GTR has on this particular section of the track. Sector 1 is its strongest point, so we'll just have to see if we can make that stick.
It's not going to be enough though.
Not quite going to have the pace, and denying him a bit of slipstream there, unfortunately. But still very close.
A better run.
Does get, it looks like, there's a blue flag there.
But Kyron's about to cross the line now.
As we go, watch our race winner take a very nice, well-deserved, comfortable victory there. Good race, good performance.
Sneakers behind in P2, 9.3 seconds back.
Yep.
Then it looks like Van Filt's going to hold on to P3 once again. With Villanueva so close, but takes a well-deserved Pro-Am victory in P4 overall, with Herbert in P5, Wilson P6, McKellar, Nipris, Appreciato, Seville the top 10. Hind still looking close at Seville, but unsure whether he'll be able to get the move done anytime soon. So very close.
Very close there. Very, very close.
Oh, that's loose. No, that's done it.
That's done it. As we go back and look at Appreciato and Nipris there. No, it doesn't look like there's going to be a change here. So Nipris going to come through. Well-earned 8th position there. And Appreciato as well. A good race from both of them. Very, very well deserved there from all those guys down there. And Hind not quite able to make it stick, but was looking close there for a minute.
Still the winner of AM class.
Still the winner of AM class, and a very, very good result for him.
Have we had an issue for Mcdonald? Mcdonald's dropping back.
Yeah, he does seem to have.
Yeah, I reckon he's had an act. Oh, did he run out of fuel?
He must have run out of fuel, I'd say.
Oh no!
Yeah, if we can go back.
So that means he's going to drop down to P17. Still P2 in AM, but that is heartbreaking.
That's it, definitely. Not a not the best result from there. As we have a quick look at our timetables here. So we see Herbert and we're looking at the wrong. We need to see race. We're looking at Kyruden, Sneakers, Van Vliet, Villanueva, Herbert, Wilson, McKellar, Nipris, Preciado, Sabille, making up our top 10 very comfortably down there. For the Pro-Am, it's Villanueva who takes the top spot in that class, followed by Sabille, McClaws, Daniel, and Benedict. AM class, we have
Benedict
Hind.
with COVID doing very well.
Yeah, Benedict doing very well there to get 5th in Pro-Am, which was 16th overall. So some good points for him there, considering the handicap, if you will. With Hind taking that victory for Am, followed by Mcdonald, who just made it across the line there after running out of fuel by the looks of things. And then Davidson, Stockton, Park, Downey, Breen, and Parkin. So fantastic race from everybody there. And well done to everybody who competed. Excellent race.
Yeah, very well done. That was a good race, and definitely a few more incidents than what happened last week, but was still very intriguing to watch, as is ever for Ascari.
That's it. Okay, well, we've got another race to jump onto. So we'll have to switch quickly to our next event, which will be Split Becketts. So give us a moment and we will switch over to that. So stick around for another exciting hour-long race there.
And that will do me for tonight.
Yes, and we have a bit of due to Alex here. Thank you very much for helping out with the commentary. Definitely helps having someone else around when you're trying to do the cameras and the broadcast at the same time as doing a little bit of commentary. So I appreciate all your work.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure once again being able to commentate this wonderful split, and hopefully I'll see us all again either this Sunday or next week.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, we'll be right back. How is everybody? We're back here with our next split. I've got my wonderful commentary team. We've got 2 in the commentary team at the moment, which is going to help me out a lot. It's going to be our guys here. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. JP Peach, as more known in the OOR, joined by Mr. Tom Maloney. Good evening, Tom. How are we?
Good. Good evening, everyone.
Ready for some chaos? If I recall correctly, last week was interesting. So,
Yep,
shall we?
Does hold the record for safety cars currently. I think.
Well, I mean, last week wasn't technically a record. It's a record for this season. They do hold the record at 4 for 2 seasons ago at Zolder, which was quite an impressive feat, especially as 3 of those were in one race.
That is impressive.
But yeah, I guess we'll see if they deliver on the reputation of split blood tonight.
So who are our favourites here in the field? Who do we think is going to be posting the good times this evening?
I think this will be most likely probably the most competitive split, as we have Weatherburn, who's incredibly quick in the Honda. We have Giacomo, who's in the Beamer, who's obviously not quite as competitive here, but it's still a fast car. And Raleigh is very fast as well. Cook is very fast. So we have a good probably 5 or 6 people who can compete here for podium positions. So it should be a fun race.
Oh, we got Ristovani currently leading the way with a 1:44.9. So we expect that time to improve, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Pole is anything slower than a 43.4, I'm going to say. I don't know what your predictions are, Tom.
I'm going to go 43.8.
Ooh, a little bit pessimistic there, I see. Unless you know the track is fast and I'm not aware of that, then you're just sort of playing the game.
Track conditions are still warming up a little bit. We're not quite at optimum yet, but we should be there reasonably soon.
I was not aware that the track is fast before I made my prediction, so...
Well, Weatherbourne's just taken pole. Half a second up.
He was fastest in free practice, I think. I think he saw a 43.5 from him in practice. And he's also done a 43.2 or 3, I think, in the qualification for the Watkins Glen 10 hour, which of course is next weekend.
Is that also in the Honda?
Also in the Honda, yes.
Yeah, so he's done the smart thing, unlike some of us who decided to pick different cars for the endurance event.
Yes. He will also be racing with the wonderful Mr. JC, Mr. Jamie Conboy, who is his teammate, who apparently is racing injured with an unknown injury. So I guess we'll just assume that he broke his arm and he's heroically pushing through the pain.
Yes. Giacomo has now jumped up a little bit into first place. With Cook there, I noticed moving into third. So we've got 2 Hondas in the top 3 at the current moment. Ristovani dropping a couple of positions now down into 4th from his initial speedy outlap. Vinter is currently leading the AM class in 7th position, doing quite well there in the BMW. And Ristovani is the top Pro-Am driver that we were mentioning before. So decent mix up here in the field. I think we'll start to see some of these AM drivers and Pro-Am drivers get mixed around just a little bit come most likely the next round. As some of them have shown perhaps to have underestimated their pace a little.
Yeah, I mean, Vintana being an AM is the same as me being a skinny person. It's just not true. You know, it's,
as he loses it there, just commentator's curse. Jumping back to the pits.
Firelord saying in chat that it looks like JLS has disconnected or something. I see. He apparently floated off into the air, so hopefully he can get back in time.
Yeah, still a little bit of time. It's 7 minutes. Hopefully that's enough time for him to get back in and hopefully post a lap at least. Get somewhere on the grid.
Rally here up to P3, 1/10 off. So yeah, looks like 144 is a good pace this session.
I'm sure we'll still see a 43 at the end of it.
Yeah, we had 43s for the last split, and I believe for Sunset as well, the top times were in the 43s. So yeah, I imagine we'll see these guys matched that pace. They're quite close together there in the top 4. Very little, 2/10 separating the top 4. So still anybody's game, I think, at this point. And yeah, Rahali, another one, perhaps underestimated their capacity here, classifying themselves as AM. Doing quite well in.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how he is an AM. That must be some kind of an entry list problem, because he's been in OOR for quite a while. He's won multiple races, so
Right.
it doesn't quite track that he's an AM.
Yep. Must be a mistake there. So we'll consider
There's
it.
Weatherburn. Weatherburn's gone P1 again. 44 free there.
Yeah.
10.5 clear.
Yep. Has increased the time there. Probably going to go for some new tyres and jump back out again with 5 minutes to go. I imagine he's going to want to still improve on that time. This Giacomin has closed the gap just a little bit. Not on that last lap. Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with some traffic ahead, which is probably slowing him down just a little bit. Very small track here, Watkins Glen, so not a lot of room if you get caught up in traffic in qualifying, which has definitely hurt a few drivers, but hopefully you find some clear tracks soon.
Yeah, there's a couple of little gaps where it seems as though somebody can feed into, so hopefully everybody can get clean laps. I mean, it was a challenge for us last night and Sunset as well, getting consecutive clean laps in. So yeah, it's always part of the fun, managing the timing and the gaps. Definitely. To get the correct laps in.
Predictions are holding pretty well here, I must say. Are seeing pretty much the drivers we called before, and we have.
Yeah, I forgot Shady Samuel's in here as well. He's another guy who's, shall I say, rather fast. Lukey Johnson as well in Macca. Macca isn't, from what I understand, it's not the strongest here, but it doesn't seem to be particularly weak either.
Yeah, it's weak as far as the mid-engine cars go. It's basically the that's the hot tip here at this point. The Macca, weak for the mid-engines, but still a little bit above some of the front-engine cars as well. I mean, the Macca it always has been a reasonably good car. Especially since the most recent update.
That's a very politically correct way of saying it's been OP for ages, and it's finally being reined in a little bit.
I'll take that.
Scott and Khan saying J-Burn was thousands of a second close to getting a 43 when I saw him in the Euro Quali. I think you mean a 42, because he was very close to a 42. He got a 43.1 if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe a 43 pad.
I thought it was a 43.002 from memory.
Was it that? Okay, yeah, it might have been. That would haunt my dreams if that was me. That's too close to a 42 to sleep ever again until you actually get a 42.
At that point, I think you just blame hardware.
Yeah, it must be. Saturn wasn't quite in alignment with Uranus at that stage. So.
Throttle's only going to 99%.
Not quite making it.
So no real changes happening at the moment. Actually, I say that, Zolkefli, who I've not seen the name before, has popped it into P3 with a very spicy time there. Imran Zolkefli.
Yeah, he jumped right up there into third position. Just sort of snuck in, and very close to the time too. Only a couple of tenths off, so...
I like the livery on that Ferrari.
It's not
interesting choice of colours.
Yeah, sort of an Australiana thing.
I was just going to say it looks like a Springbok jersey kind of wannabe thing almost.
Yeah.
I just saw a flash of brown and pink and green, so I assume JLS has gotten back into the server there. Yep, that's definitely a JLS livery.
Yep.
Last and ahead.
hopefully can set a lap before the end.
Tasty Tea track so fast? I think it is. We don't have the widget up to show the track conditions, so I can't 100% confirm, but I'm sure that Mike can confirm that for us if it's fast optimum.
We're up to optimum now.
Oh, it is
By
optimum
the
now.
looks of things, yeah. Assuming my data here is correct. Still flying a little bit by the seat of the pants here. New broadcast duties. Still getting used to how things work. But yeah, I believe we are.
It's going well.
it's going all right. It's been a couple of glitches, but we'll get past.
At least you haven't blinded all the viewers like JC did multiple times last night with his return from replay screens. I don't know if you saw that. It was quite funny.
Yeah, I did see a bit of that, but you know, we can't all be at the skill level of our illustrious leader. So you know, sometimes you just got to make do with the B team as we are here. Much improvement in the times overall. That 144. So maybe that track isn't quite optimum. Doesn't feel like it. It says optimum, but I'm feeling like it does seem like the track might only be fast. It is a different weather conditions than we had slightly to the last race, not by much, but a little bit more track temperature and a little bit higher ambient, but should be seeing pretty similar times. We have a Porsche.
Say that.
Some unfortunate traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very unfortunate traffic there for Zalefi, but he goes up.
P2, nice
No,
lap.
he was P2.
No,
There
P3.
goes Shady Samuel all of a sudden.
44
into-
flat.
Yeah. And
We
Samuel
also
was-
have Ristafani and Cook, who's all put laps in that could move them up, so it's getting very spicy up at the top there.
Yeah, very close to the 143s. They're almost there with Samuel just about a 144 dead. Not much time left to put in laps though, so at the...
Samuel is in prime position here. He has no traffic ahead of him. He has nice clear tracks, so...
Yeah, he'll get one more lap, so we'll just have to see what he can do. Let's see what Weatherborn can do. Maybe we can ride on board with the McLaren. See if he can't post...
Honda.
Oh, sorry, the Honda. They all look the same, all the mid-engines. Just the same, a better car. It's because it's orange. Associate orange with McLaren.
They use Honda engines at some stage at tracks. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just stuck in the 80s still. It's fine.
Or the
Oh.
mid-2010s.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not gonna
Yeah,
improve his lap time.
No, and I think that might end any hopes he had of improving, but he could still do it. Let's see if Samuel...
Looked pretty slow through the bus stop.
Yeah, Samuel has
Yeah.
dropped back to pits, so that's their time in the pits.
Luca has finished and not improved. Ristafani has finished, not improved.
Up to P2.
Brad Cook puts it up to P2, 7/100ths off. So
Good lap time there. Yeah, really close there, Cook. Just sort of snuck into P2 and denied it a bit from Weatherburn, who's still going around the track, but yeah, doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement on their time, unfortunately. But P3, not going to be
Still going for it.
He's still going it, but we'll see if maybe he can take P2. No, it doesn't quite. Doesn't improve the time there. So that's our those are our standings. So we've got Samuel from Cook from Weatherbourne, from Zalewski, Zalewski, sorry,
Zolkefli.
Zolkefli, Giacomo, Ristafani, Rahali, Vinta, Barker, and Johnson making out our top 10 there. So
Top 10 covered by a second, less than a second, so very competitive.
yeah.
This will be the kind of race with the skill sort of level that's fairly close here. This will be the type of race that could be determined in strategy as well.
Yeah. Well, we saw that a little bit in the last split where we had our top two at the time with Lamb and Kairudin, yes, both sort of taking very different strategies. Kairudin going for a longer strategy, which almost paid off, but didn't quite work out for him because he had a little bit of a slow pit stop. So
Yeah.
see if anyone takes a sort of an approach like that. In this,
Lamb went with the bold strategy of crashing into the wall when you're in the lead, and it didn't quite pay off the way I think he planned it. But
I think that's the Charles Leclerc strategy now. That's actually
it
got a
seems
name.
that way. Yeah, it's.
we should have said that. Leclerc.
It's not
Apologies
a-
to any Ferrari fans if that was too soon. It's not too soon.
Not too soon. It's fine.
I mean, they're Ferrari fans. They used to it.
Look,
But,
I'm a
yeah,
Williams fan.
Pain is
so
life.
disappointment for any other team is just how I live my life for the last 20 years. Just how.
Yeah,
it
but you
goes.
have the best driver on the F1 grid in your team, so it's not too disappointing, is it?
I guess. We do have the goat. Do have
So yeah, this will be interesting. This, as we see, okay, Ralahe doesn't count as an AM, but Vintner is still classified as an AM. I reckon he's due a promotion because he's very competitive in the M2s as well, consistently on the podium. So I reckon Denaldi is probably our technical AM leader, and we have Zolkefli as a pro-am, Rustafani as a pro-am, and Herod P3 for the pro-ams, with Mr. Jason Cowers rounding out the AM podium for now.
Yeah, nice, interesting field there.
So the problem that Samuel has is the Beamer is not as quick as the Honda in the straight, and it doesn't launch as well. So he's going to have to absolutely nail his start to maintain the lead coming to the bus stop, which will be quite interesting. And of course, Zolkefli in the Ferrari, who's pretty much renowned for not being fantastic off the line. So it's going to be an interesting little start if everybody nails it, who will be able to go into the bus stop ahead.
So we go to our safety car. He's going to lead us through here on our outlap.
That's a convenient driver name, Mr. Safety Car.
Yeah.
Driving the safety car.
I mean, you've kind of settled your job there, haven't you? You named safety car.
You're literally born to do this. Just one thing. Imagine he goes through a rebellious stage and wants to become a bus driver. That would be the ultimate disappointment for him.
You could always drive a bus on track as the safety car.
I mean, there's literally a bus stop here, so you might as well.
Yeah. Not the nicest engine note there, I've got to say, for the Janetta.
Not a fan of straight cut gears.
No.
I think he just offended some people.
Sounds a bit better when it's revving it out. I'll give it that. Right. Getting ready to go for a start. So, either of you boys in the endurance event coming up?
I am, yes. Tom is just there for moral support and tossing his pom-poms around.
I mean, moral support is important.
Well, I mean, I say support. It's Tom, so it's not really support. It's just sniper mob.
It's abusive support.
Fair enough.
Chief Entertainment Officer.
Chief Entertainment Officer. It's a good position. I remember that. I'll have to keep that in mind.
But yeah, we are in, and we're unfortunately in the BMW, so not ideal.
The
but we've,
BMW hasn't been
managed-
doing bad here the last couple of races, so
No, it's the nice thing is in these races we get to pit after 30 minutes, so the tires don't completely die of death. But yeah, it's not fantastic on the tires, so it'll be interesting.
we get ready to finish our outlap. JP, if you'd like to call the start.
Yeah, sure, can do.
We'll,
As we can see, Shady Samuel here, leading us around, waiting for Mr. Safety Car to pull away, which states Samuel will take over control at 80 kilometers an hour while he's leading Cook, Weatherburn, Zolkefli, Giacomin, Ralahe, Rustafani, Vintner, Barker, Johnson, your top 10. As we can see Weatherburn there, all over the back of Samuel, trying to stay as close as possible. Important to maintain those gaps. So far, so good. No major gaps in the top 6. It seems as though they're keeping it fairly close, although P5 has dropped down a little bit there. As we close in on the green light, and we should be going racing just about now.
There you go, green light.
Shady with a poor start there. He squeezes Weatherburn into the wall. That is not ideal, but it is very good for Cook as he gets ahead. Samuel tries to send it up the inside, squeezes Cook wide. I think Shady might be in trouble for that start, but we keep going. So far, so good. No yellow flags at the moment. Everybody settling down behind one another as we come to the next crush point, which is the
someone
bus
in the
stop.
wall.
Oh, there's
Yep.
a poop, but no death, fortunately.
Coming through the bus stop, our leaders are doing okay. There is a bit of death at the back of the
there's
field.
a little bit of death.
Yeah.
They're not doing well. Josh Wiley in the GTR. Much sadness for the 4 GTR fans that are still in ACC.
I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, so the other 3 are in chat probably. So yeah, Samuel leading us away. Cook not too far behind. Jacoman right on his tails. Olkefli and Raleigh top 5 at the moment. Weatherburn dropped down to P6. I don't think he's going to be particularly pleased with that.
He nailed the start though.
Absolutely, and yeah, he'll be looking to fight back through. Might have a little bit of damage, so hopefully it doesn't affect him too much. But yeah, I would be, we'll leave it up to the stewards, but I'd be surprised if Samuel doesn't look at maybe a nice little 5-second penalty there at least. As we on board here with Jacoman, all over the back of Cook, but he's in a straight line deficit, I would say, against the Honda, especially if the Honda has the tow. Weatherburn. Ooh, that might be a warning, although Watkins is fairly lenient in terms of track limits there.
Yeah, track limits are pretty good here.
Apart from the second last corner, it's so strict there, but the rest of the track, as we see, 450, that's Matthew Herod.
450, Matthew Herod.
He's had a moment.
Come off the track
Going
there at
very
some
slowly.
point. Going very slow. Doesn't look like he's picked up a lot of damage, but
May have just
just had a
looted that
little spin.
turn 1. Yeah, so far everybody seems to be settling down pretty well. Samuel with almost a second lead over Cook up front. Ralahay, after a rather poor qualifying performance by his standards, will be looking to move forward.
Bit of a battle back here. Getting into the top 10. It's Bartlett, Denaldi.
Yeah, Bartlett. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Just chasing each other there, the two McLarens. Very close together. A few McLarens, a bit of a train there. As we see some cars off to the side, there's blue.
Giacomin.
Yeah.
No, that's not Giacomin, it's Barker. He's
Yeah,
part of the Giacomin driving school. Same livery. And I think that's Solkefli, or is that Cristofani? It seems as though they had a bit of a...
Yeah, they must have had a bit of a coming together there, I think, with Stefani. And Ferrari behind. You see a little bit of an incident there.
Diabol's asking how's the Honda cope with damage on the front side. I think it doesn't... It's okay-ish with front damage. Apparently it's awful with rear damage, but I might be wrong on that. Regardless, you'd not want to have any damage if you could. As we see in the back there, that is Raleigh on the back of Zolkefli trying for a move into the bus stop. That doesn't necessarily always work. In this case, he slots back in. That's going to give Weatherburn the opportunity to maybe get a move done into the chute, but Raleigh covers the line pretty well there.
Not enough straight line speed in the Porsche.
Yeah, it's not the ideal car to have in battles like this because it's so fast on a hot lap. But as you said, straight line speed, it's definitely not the strongest car in the GT3 class.
very little room
That's
back
cheap.
here with Ristafani.
Giacomin has gotten past Cook at some stage, or they're still very close to each other. So he's moved up into P2.
Yeah, it's just overtaken there. Pit window now
As
open.
the pit window opens, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Giacomin can close that gap on Samuel. The two drivers who are usually very close on pace. So should be interesting. Zolkefli making a good fight of this. He's definitely going to look at the move in on Cook at some stage if he keeps this pace up. As we can get a look at the Honda top line speed here, you can see him closing in on the BMW. He's not quite close enough to make anything work. Does the smart thing, just lifts off the throttle as we come into the braking zone. Good little tip there for any of the rookies watching.
Yeah, always better to ease off the throttle a little bit when you're chasing someone than to push too hard on the brakes. It's often the safer option.
Yes, I just got some confirmation from Mr. Peabody that Ralahe is definitely in the Pro class. It's just an issue with his livery that has defaulted into an M. So
Car around at the chute 404 and 78.
78 is Pete Chalmers. Let's go back car. Not ideal. I don't know who 404 is. Mr.
Irfan.
Off the track there, not looking to have
He's returned to pits.
returned
Looks like
straight to pit. So
That was his
irreversible
second little incident. So not sure if it's cumulative damage or something maybe.
damage. Samuel tearing away here, 1.5 seconds clear of Giacomin, but the gap's still staying mostly the same. But he's leading reasonably comfortably.
Oh, Saul Kefley looking for a move on Cook there. No, nothing doing. Pace is pretty quick at the moment, low 44s, which is a fairly healthy race pace.
And his top group all staying reasonably close together.
And Raleigh seems to be dropping off this top 5 a little bit, or the top 4.
Yeah.
See, I've not seen much regarding the Ferrari around here. I've seen it on the leaderboard. There's one in the top 10, I think, on the European leaderboard. So it's not a bad car around here. And Zolkefli definitely putting it to good use.
Yeah, getting very close.
Nice tight little pack down at 15, 16, 17, 18. Jamie Conboy up from 22nd.
Yeah, riding very
Fan
close.
favourite. Seems as though all the McLarens keep finding each other on track as well. So, gets a good run out of there. Not good enough to get alongside, but he's close enough to make something work when they come to the S's. Never mind, he has a little look. Just makes Mr. Malik think about it. Yeah, as Mr. Don Fighty pointed out in chat, this is the first split this week that didn't have a safety car.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, they won't be a safety car now, it's fine.
Yeah.
As we see car 78 yellow flag.
Yeah, it
the
looks like
next
stopped
pit lane.
in pits. Must have done an exit to pits there. Yeah, just looks like done an exit to pits. And major there. Giacomin's caught up.
Yeah, Samuel had a slow lap last lap, 45.1, so that's allowed Giacomin to close the gap right up.
Looks like it's a bit of damage on the front. That could just be from the first lap incident he had.
Yeah, his nose definitely hit the wall after the contact with Ben.
Yeah, no penalty for that, by the way. We haven't seen a penalty for that, so the stewards have ruled that to be okay, apparently. For now, at least. We'll see if perhaps they're still deliberating up there in the steward's booth.
Scarnan pointing out that the split name is still incorrect. If you can change that. If not, I don't think it's a major deal.
I can change it.
And as if by magic, we will change to the correct split name. Oh. There was a little frame drop. It made it look like they were going really slowly. I thought it was a safety car for some reason.
It was on fast forward for about 5 seconds.
That would have just been on your end. Different streams for our commentary team. Yeah,
As we can see.
Your,
as we see,
That Ferrari has an absolute, it's mighty through that last corner, isn't it?
it really is, yeah. So Leffy.
He definitely compromised Cook's run there into turn 1, so maybe you can get a look at him as we see Jacob very close to Shady as well. So could potentially see 2 little battles going in here. Doesn't seem as though the Ferrari is close enough.
BMW on BMW here for the lead. Taking their time. Still 48 minutes, so no big rush, but he's closed in a lot. It looks like Samuel's definitely struggling a bit. He's dropped quite a bit of pace. Either that or Giacomo's just found his right pedal a bit and is really pushing for that lead because they have really tightened up and he's lost a lap or so.
Just Wedderburn also all over the back of Raleigh. Still haven't been able to find a way past. Wait, that Wedderburn in P7? What? How is he behind a... That must be a blue flag car, I guess.
Yes, it must be. Because, yeah, Rahali's ahead.
It's showing Raleigh in P2. Did they have an incident? Or?
Yeah, something's happened there. Because, yeah, we've seen Rahali down, drop to... back to 10.
And Wedderburn is behind Johnson now on the timing table, so they must have been coming together or something.
Something happened to Rahali there. Dropping down the order a fair bit.
Yeah, that puts Vintner up into P5, so he'll be pretty happy with that, I would say.
Yeah, he's 6 off this leading top 4 pack, but that's still nice and close. Giacomo again seems to be getting right up there.
There we go, Shady Samuel with a 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
So that effectively takes him out of this battle at the moment. And on the fight, he's saying, shout out to Rafael Shower, watching from the hospital, recovering from surgery. Get well soon, Raf.
Yeah.
Get back behind the wheel. Hope you feel better soon. Oh, as we see Jacob trying to... Ooh.
Got a little loose there. Didn't quite manage to make that... Samuel getting a bit wide there off onto the grass.
It is very easy to get unsettled over those exit curbs there, so...
Yeah, especially in these front-engine cars, you get that understeer out of there, and yeah, it can really make it hard to reel back in without losing the rears.
Yeah, if you want to talk understeer, try and drive the M2 around there. It does not turn.
Mate, I drive a GTR. I know all about understeer.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. You drove a brick, so...
I drove a brick on wheels. And the other car I drive is the Aston, which isn't particularly... It's pretty understeery as well, so...
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, with this, the little mistakes they made, there's allowed Cookins will definitely to close right up again. So battle of 2 becomes battle of 4.
He's got that 5-second penalty too. So Giacomo doesn't necessarily need to push all that much, but that 5 seconds will be served in a pit stop as well. So we'll just have to see what kind of move he makes here. It definitely seems like he's got more pace than Samuel at this point. Perhaps there's a little more damage on Samuel's car than we initially thought, as we see car exiting the pits. Is that Rahali?
No, that was a Mercedes of some sort.
Out, yeah.
Yeah, having raced with Luca a couple of times, he's one of those guys who pushes forward all the time. So I don't think he'll be settling back and letting the penalties. He'll be looking for whatever position he can make. As As we see Samuel again compromised through the bus stop there. He still parks it on the line. But he's definitely feeling the pressure when it comes to the bus stop.
As we see
Ristofani with 15 seconds.
Yep, picking up a penalty there.
And Jones as well with a 15 second down in P23.
Let's head back down our pack, shall we? Have a little look at what's happening a little bit further back in the field. There's a few battles here. We see Hera just ahead. Being challenged, if you will, by Flower behind.
Just an interesting point there. Ralahay has pitted. He's done his stop.
Yes.
So I'm assuming he's maybe repaired some damage and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what he can do from where he is now.
Yeah, we'll see what he does with all that clean track ahead of him, and hopefully a 100% fully fixed car now. Hopefully will serve him quite well. I can see Rowley's got a national sticker there on that Porsche. That may be what's caused the class to be incorrectly listed on our timing tower. As we've still got this little battle here. Ooh.
Bit of a moment there for Luca.
Wiggle.
Yeah, getting a little wiggle on there. But holding on.
Don, there is one GTR. Josh Wiley is in the GTR, but he had a bit of a rough start, I think. Was involved in an incident, so he's dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, he's down in 29th position at the moment, Josh Riley. Not having the best race, unfortunately. But
Jacob just looks so much stronger through the bus stop. A little bit of a four-wheel drift there for Samuel, but still stays ahead.
So he's got a little rear wing damage there too, actually. It may just be dirt, but I think that's damage.
No, that looks
Might
like
be from where Weatherburn came into contact with him.
Yeah, so maybe he's picked up a little bit more damage than we thought there, and that's giving Giacomo the edge he needs.
They're dropping Cook and Zolkefli though, so
Yeah, they're pulling away.
As soon as they start battling, they close up, and then they go Linus turn for a lap or two and build a gap, and then Giacomo sees an opportunity and they fight, and they close back up again. So it's a little bit of a yo-yo effect going on.
So carefully, still on the back of Cook there. Very wide there for Cook. That's an interesting line.
I think that's called holding on and hoping you don't die.
Yeah, that's an accurate statement. So definitely making a move though, perhaps down the inside. No, have a look. Perhaps just testing the resolve of Cook there, just seeing if he'll back out a little bit, if you can scare him.
I think that Ferrari just doesn't have the straight line speed, and it seems very strong through sector 3, but it's a little bit weak through the turn 1. So it's just he can't get close enough to Cook to actually get the move done, as he does have the fastest lap. So there's definitely pace in the Ferrari.
Yeah, it's got the pace here, it's got the speed, so if you can convert it into something a little nicer.
Weatherburn with 10 seconds.
Yeah. So perhaps whatever that incident was, yeah.
Yeah, with Ralahay, I'm assuming maybe an attempt at overtake gone wrong.
Bit of frustration starting to creep in.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be rather frustrated with how the race started. So, but yeah, Don pointing out there that JC is up to P14, so his march through the field continues.
Yeah, JC.
That is
still
a pack.
marching. Yep, there's a big pack around JC as well. It's all happening down here. It looks like we've got Hermanto leading this pack in the Porsche, with Gary not far behind. And ooh, JC a little wide there, but he should hold on to it for the exit. Keep the fans happy. Yeah, managing to not open the door too much for Malik there.
It'll be interesting to see how the McLaren does in terms of straight line speed versus the BMW. BMW quite affected by adjusting the wing, like just one click on the rear wing dropped you about 4 kilometers down the straight. So interesting to see what kind of setup Lau is running as well.
Yeah, let's see what kind of difference there is here as they head up to the main straight. McLaren does definitely seem to be catching a little bit towards the end, but not a huge speed differential. It does break nicely into that section though. So we've got some blue flags on the outside.
Okay, well done getting out of the way quickly there as Convoy looking for the run. Unfortunately for him, Lau does have the tow from Hermanto up ahead. Hermanto in a Porsche, so he's not going to be happy about this.
No. Oh.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Convoy does the smart thing, just backs out.
Yep.
Uses that wise old brain of his.
Yeah, still got 40. He saw that there's 40 minutes left, you know. Plenty more race ahead for him to take that position back.
So as you mentioned there, it's 40 minutes. Ooh, as we see now goes very wide onto the marbles, holds on to it, but Convoy does get the position.
Gets it. Very clean there.
As you said, there's about 40 minutes left now, so it's starting to get into that point where drivers like Zulkefli and Cook might start thinking about attempting an undercut. He's not able to get past on track, but he clearly has pace, so it might be worth diving into the pits within the next lap or two.
Yeah, he's done our fastest
potentially, potentially getting some clean air and maybe getting the undercut done. Certainly worth a consideration. Ooh, that's wide, but probably not a warning.
No, it wouldn't be a warning there. As you said, quite generous, especially on that first turn. Almost
Nice and tucked up for a tow, though.
Yep.
It's a good spot to be.
Brad Grant, Ash Jones was a rookie last season in P22, but why does he have a 15-second penalty? I think it was for a lap 1 incident in the SS. I'm not 100% sure. The Ferrari seems like a little bit of a handful through the bus stop there.
Yeah, just losing a bit of control out of it there.
As you can see, Giacomo very close to Samuel again, and that's allowed Cook to close the gap back up to under a second now. So, yeah, the ebb and flow of this little pack continues. Vinton also very close to the back of Weatherburn there. Not sure if Weatherburn is carrying a little bit of extra damage from the incident that we didn't quite see.
Yeah, potentially some damage from that, and obviously from the first lap incident as well. Maybe slowing down just a little bit. We're getting close.
STT saying we have to watch the Peter Viney replay. Apparently he has 2 hours of damage.
2 hours of damage.
Not sure if it's possible to get an old school replay of that, but it must have been an epic hit if that's the case.
That would be an epic hit.
As he was going through the pause replay.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a crack at that.
I can do the replay that way, but you'd have to tell me roughly what lap that was on, so we don't have to search for it. So if they can.
More info. John, give us some more information. What lap and which corner?
As we see, Gary has had an off as well, unfortunately. Hazard's on. Having a bit of a moment there. Doesn't look like it was involved with anybody else, but it's dropping a reasonable amount of positions.
Oh, that's...
You can't park there, mate.
That's number 43. The back of the grid, unfortunately. Not having the best race.
Oh.
Oof, okay, that's, yeah.
We'll just move away from that.
Adding to the repair bill there.
Yep.
Oh, this is getting spicy for P1 here at the moment.
Didn't know you could Austin Powers it at that corner, but he's managed to do it.
So it seems as though it was lap 11 or 12 in the final corner for Viney's hit from Thor.
11 or 12. There's a lot of action going on here. It's hesitant to cut away from it. But we'll keep that in mind. That was lap 11, was it? On car
118.
118. All right, so when we get a
lap 12. So.
Lap 12, 118.
This is great to see a battle for the lead this close. I mean, it's unfortunate that Samuel does have that penalty, so he's not technically in this battle, but he's the one who's sort of containing it at the moment. Surely one of them must be thinking, and there we go.
Yep.
Whoa!
Oh, he's going for the pits. Cook
I think that's a smart call by Cook there.
Yeah.
See how quickly the Ferrari pulls up to the back.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of time he gains now. He's got some clear road and whether he can catch these two BMWs ahead. Let's cook first of our mainstay top 10 into the pits.
It'll be interesting to see where he comes out, whether he gets some clean air or gets stuck in traffic. So, yes, we see Jacoman still looking at the rear of Samuel's BMW. I'm sure he's able to draw that from memory at the moment. But he's showing a lot of patience, just not trying to force anything, well aware that Samuel does have to serve that penalty in the pits. So, yeah, I think he's comfortable just sitting there as long as he doesn't get too much pressure from behind. He's not going to worry about it.
As we see oh no, there's been a disaster just ahead. I'm not sure which. There's another Honda there. Scarman.
Might be Herod.
Or Herod. That was.
Nope.
Scarman. Yeah.
Scarman.
Fortunate there.
Hopefully, I don't think that would have cost Cook too much. I mean, it's going to cost him a new pair of pants because he's going to have to replace these ones. But in terms of time, I don't think he would have lost too much from that. But he is in nice, clean air at the moment, so he can pop in some laps. So it's actually, the field spread isn't too crazy. I mean, Cook, who is running in this lead battle, he's come out in P21.
Yeah.
So he's dropped way down the field with a pit stop.
Yeah.
Oh
no!
Cold tires.
Cold tires and hasn't prepped. That's a terrible spot to be around.
Tough to get out of there.
Yeah. But
that's not how the undercut works.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a lot, unfortunately. See, having another issue. Oh no!
Oh, the rejoin!
Oh, that rejoin. Gary. Just
I think Jack
missed
Gowers also needs a pair of new pants. There's quite going to be an uptick in sales of underpants.
Yeah.
Who's sponsored by Levi's?
So Kefli's ahead of Buchanan.
Yeah.
What has happened there?
Well, that was happening. So Kefli has overtaken Giacomin. So I'm not sure if Giacomin's had a moment there. So Kefli was about a second behind. So interesting what might have happened there. Perhaps a moment. Perhaps the tyres in the BMW are starting to fall apart on him. We'll have to see how that ends up. We'll see. Perhaps Giacomin takes this opportunity to jump in and do a pit stop.
Weatherburn up behind Johnson.
Very close now. Got to make up those 10 seconds. So he's going to be pushing exceptionally hard before making a pit stop. Himento, first of the cars on the grid at the moment to have pitted in the order. And should come out a little bit higher than that once everybody else starts putting their laps in.
There's Cook ahead of him now, so I think that was just still updating maybe.
Oh, yep. It's just jumped over.
So this should be a good run for Jacob here. He's all over the back of Johnson. Should get a good run.
Yep.
I think his damage might be affecting his top end speed because he's not closing the gap.
No. A little bit slow in the entry there. Closed right up.
Such a tricky part of the track to follow that closely as well, so well handled there by him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ventana goes a little bit wide. Rastafani pops one up the inside. He's going to have the inside line for the next corner, although the Beamer seems to have the acceleration on the Ferrari. Should be able to keep the nose alongside.
Yeah.
Late on the brakes, makes the apex. I think Ventana is still on his outside, which will put him on the inside for the next one. So great battling by these two.
Yep, does a little switchback.
Won't go around the outside there, mate.
No. A good attempt there, but couldn't quite make it stick.
Still carefully in the pits.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if he can manage to do an outlap without pinning it, so we get an idea of this undercut.
And we got Johnson coming into the pits as well, followed by a bunch
Five
of
and
everybody coming in here, sort of at that halfway 30-minute mark, as you'd expect. But our leaders staying out, so going for a bit of a longer stint. The guys at the front of the field. Giacomin seems to have recovered okay, catching back up, which is good to see. We're not quite sure what happened to him.
Oh, Giacomin with a 5-second penalty as well.
So perhaps he did get involved in a little incident back there, and that's what caused him to drop a place and consequently receive a penalty. So the top four are all with penalties at the moment. Obviously that'll change once pit stops rearrange the order a bit, but yeah, we've got 5 seconds for both Samuel and Giacomin, so that kind of evens the stakes a bit.
That is fantastic news, or it would have been fantastic news for Zolkefli if he didn't just get a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, which is going to convert to a 10-second penalty.
Yep.
So he would have come out in the lead, but that is not going to happen now. So
Johnson's now in a mighty position.
Exactly. So
yeah,
everything is coming up Luke.
Yeah, going to be happy about that. Gain some decent positions there. Wait for that stop go 30 should be cleared, unless of course it's for something else that we missed.
No, I don't think.
Don't believe so.
I think we would have known about an incident
Yeah,
justify the stop go 30.
Exactly.
Might be a good time to have a look at the Pete Viney incident.
Yeah, let's have a quick look while the Samuel coming into the pits here. All right.
Give ACC a lap to update the standings so we can actually tell who's doing what.
Yeah, it's going around here. Okay, so we're looking
lap
at
12, car 118, lap 12, final corner.
Let's put the hard on, that'll make it easier. 118, lap
12. So yeah, I think before that massive gap in.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
This is a pack and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going for it here in P16. Look at our replay.
Is he going to hit the pit wall?
Oh, he goes too wide. He bounces. Oh, yeah. That's
unfortunate.
He is not going to be in rush hour free. Oof.
That's yeah, unfortunate there. There we go. A bit delayed, but we got to see that that little incident there. So tragic end to the race for the 118 car.
So it was only 2 hours of damage, so he should be able to get back on track.
He should be able to
still
get
running.
For round 9 of the season.
He's still running.
May have been a slight embellishment by your brother there, JP.
No, Tox also came in and said 2.5 hours in the YouTube chat. So maybe he only repaired suspension instead of cosmetics or something. I'm not sure.
Perhaps. Maybe he did a small repair. Still there, last place, but committed to finishing this race. I mean, there's only 30 cars in the field at the moment, so that'll put him in the points. So it's worth continuing at this stage. You got at least get 1 point.
Stefani in the pits.
There we go.
So this is really where we'll see where Zolkefli got to.
Yep.
So Zolkefli managed to undercut on Samuel, it seems like, by only about a second.
Zolkefli didn't have a penalty at his pit stop.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That gap is quite small, actually, considering Samuel had to serve 5 seconds. I was expecting Zolkefli to be a little bit further ahead than that, so unless he had maybe a slow outlap or something. But just shout out to JLS running P5. Stop the count, please. Let's go with that.
JLS for pro. JLS for pro.
As he comes into the pits. Overtaken by who we think might be our leader.
Net race leader, but with a penalty and a very angry looking BMW all over him.
Samuel just chasing behind. we've still got Giacomin yet to pit, so it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out once that 5-second penalty is applied.
Yeah, so it's showing Rustafani in... Oh, sorry, isn't still in the pits, so it hasn't updated yet. Oh, there we go. Samuel just drives past the Ferrari on the straight. Okay.
Yeah, just tears straight past him. So obviously he had a bit of a compromised entry or something in there. Does seem to be driving a little bit slowly. I wonder what has caused that. Maybe he's still getting those tyres up to temperature.
Rustafani also with a stock go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. So
Yep.
typical Ferrari strategy here in the pit lanes, just messing it up.
Yep.
Practice your pit entries, people. It's 10 seconds. It's so easy to keep.
As we see Giacomin now in the pits being serviced. So with Samuel just entering sector 3 now, you'd assume Giacomin probably still will jump out behind. It's going to be close. See how much longer he's got. That's the long wait while you sit there and watch your opponent come up from behind.
He's moving, I think. 313 car is moving, but this is going to be very tight.
He's going to
Samuel.
No, he's not going to. That pit lane's just a little bit too long.
He's miles behind.
I didn't realize where the camera actually was.
Yeah, same. I thought we were a bit further down the pit lane, so a fair bit further behind than we thought there. So Samuel.
Yeah, to be fair, he did have a 10-second penalty, I think. So yeah.
So Samuel now taking the lead of the race. Once our timing tower decides that it's going to update itself. There we go.
So is that a blue flag looking for a move on Giacomin? Settles back down. Or is that's not Vinton's car, is it? Vinton is in a yellow one, not a lime green?
Yeah, that's Vince. No, that's Johnson. So yeah, definitely a blue flag there behind Giacomin. So just having a nice easy outlap here and probably hoping to catch back up. Doesn't have to catch successfully much with that 10-second penalty, but he will be looking for Samuel up there in P1, who's still being harassed there. So not quite tearing away, but it's hard to see that 10-second penalty not sort of deciding the result here. I think it's definitely going to hurt him a lot.
Yeah, the good thing for Giacomin is if Zolkefli can still put some pressure on Shady and maybe battle a little bit, that'll allow Luca to close the gap maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Looks like Zolkefli only dropped one spot though at the current penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, if they keep the pace up, we've got Johnson 8 seconds and 6 seconds. So yeah, definitely looks like he'll only drop to P3 at this stage, but still 21 minutes to go, so anything could happen.
Yeah, as we've seen so far in this race, apparently nobody wants to win it, so there should be some more dramas to happen, I guess.
Johnson still being chased by Vinter. These two going around.
Vinton with the AM badge, if you look at the timing table, it seems a little bit out of place.
Doesn't it?
If this was a reverse grid race or something, then yes, that would make perfect sense to me. But I reckon we might see that badge color change to at least a black one in the next week or two.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. Put in a great performance last week as well. So yeah, I imagine we'll see that change once we return to sprints. Not next week, but the week after. 2 week, a little break as everybody does their setups and gets ready for the Enduros, which are happening the next weekend on the 6th of August here at Watkins Glen once again for 10 hours, which will be a lot of fun to watch. Maybe not as fun to race, but hopefully it will be a bit of fun.
Well, the current weather forecast is saying rain on the 6th of August, so
yeah, I saw that.
Be interesting.
Fantastic content.
I'm okay with rain as a slow am driver. Rain does benefit me slightly more than it does the pros, because it does sort of bring the cars together a little bit more.
But you did say you're in the Aston, didn't you?
Yes, yeah, it's not.
So that's why you prefer it, because you're in the OP rain car.
In the
So
OP rain car,
definitely
yeah.
helps.
Yeah, there's a bit of that too. But
Apparently, Ristofani has had an accident and Cook.
Yep.
So, that's a great run for Vintner out of turn 1 there. I think he might
did.
get the
Yep.
move down on Johnson.
Indeed, just as we went to go away from him.
Ooh.
That was close.
Very
That was
close, but
very close.
good composure from both guys there to not come into each other. But Weatherman's still quite close behind. But a bit unsettled by that move there, probably. So might need a little bit more to catch his pace back up.
Yeah, Coleman's not really making too much of a dent in Jody and Zolkefli, so
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to be pulling the same pace he was earlier in the race. So he seems to have stepped off a bit. He does seem to be in mostly clean air as well. A little bit on his own, some blue flags ahead, but yeah, not quite getting it there. I wonder if just the not having a quicker driver ahead to base his pace off is hurting him a little bit. It does sometimes impact how close you can push.
no toe to drag you along as well might not be
Yeah.
too helpful for him.
Bit of a battle here for a 7th place.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
that
getting
looked
close.
like a-
That was very close there. Every time we go to cut away, something interesting happening.
Okay, you missed him, so
Missed.
That's a
Coming
dive.
together. Oh, Joe Coleman won't be happy about that.
well, look how much the gap has come down. It's 4.6 now. It was 6 point something the previous lap, so
Yeah, he's definitely pulled ahead there. So maybe-
Weatherburn
No, no.
the fastest lap.
Yeah, Weatherburn now doing the quickest lap of the race. Trying to make up for that unfortunate incident turn 1. There's a quick view of the one Nissan in the field as he screams past him there. So yeah, so I was going to go to see this little battle back here that's happening between Malik and Hermanto in the Porsche. Still ongoing. I've actually seen these guys doing pretty well and holding these positions reasonably well. Malik's got that 5-second penalty though, which is going to make life a little bit easier.
yeah, it won't drop him down a position, fortunately, but yeah, probably not much point battling with Amento for what would essentially not be a position gain. So
Yeah, I'm just hanging on to him, just hoping for a little error or a mistake there.
just a shout out there to Jamie Conboy. He's back up to P14 after the pit stops. He dropped down a little bit. I'm not sure if he had a bit of an oopsie somewhere, but he's gained positions back again. And Scott Rockford in P11
Got a little loose there. Got a little loose
Yes.
there, but he's back under control.
It's just about to say, Paige, thanks Scott Rochford P11 on the Pro-Am podium.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely smashing it. So he's genuinely coming on leaps and bounds in terms of just his pace and overall racecraft. I say that as he's under a lot of pressure from Haslam there.
Yeah,
A bit of a fight here. Kovacs Drinks Carrier is a key name. Yeah, but this is a good little battle for the final spot of the Pro-Am podium. Matthew Herod as well into P13. He had a bit of an incident very early in the race, but he seemed to have recovered well. That Ferrari is so strong through the final sector.
That's incredible. Just that mid-engine balance for those sweepers.
That's definitely going to compromise his run out of T1, so Mr. Rockford should have a good run up the S's, although he's a little bit far behind, but I think that gap might close down a little bit.
It's already halved.
Samuel putting a little bit of a gap on Zolkefli now. It's about just over 2 seconds. Gap to Jacoman not really changing much. Yeah, I think Haslam definitely has the pace on Rockford here. Once he got past, he's already building a little bit of a gap. But I think Scott would still be very happy with a P12 for sure.
Yeah.
And what do we got AM driver wise? He's obviously not a real AM. Ercolini
Ercolini
looks like in the lead for the AMs.
Well, we have Vintner, who's in
again.
P4. I mean, Vintner is technically an AM
yeah.
because he just stepped up, so he is on a very, very fine technical scale. Yes, he's an AM, but I mean, we all know he's not an AM. So let's give it to Ercolini.
Does have a 5-second pen though, but Gowers is probably a little bit too far behind.
It's about 19 seconds, so I
Yeah.
think he'll be safe.
Should be safe, barring any potential incidents. Take that top spot for the AM class.
Good to see Mike Donaldi as well, always improving.
And of course, Lau, Gary was running quite a high up the field, but he had a couple of little unfortunate oopsies.
And it looks like Ristofani's had to pit, unfortunately. Down there in P25 now.
Yeah, somebody said earlier he had a big spill as well, so I'm assuming he maybe took a bit of damage from that.
Definitely take a lot of comfort from the pace he showed earlier in the race, though.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very tricky track to be consistent around here as well. There's so many little places where it's very easy to just be 2 pixels to the left and you're in a wall. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but we see Witherben here all over the rear of Johnson. Witherben doing his best to recover, even after serving that penalty as well. We'll get a good look of Honda versus Oh, Johnson not getting a great run out of there. Witherben using all of the available track. He paid for the DLC, he'll get his money's worth. And I think he should be able to make something happen here coming to the bus stop.
It's been discussed before, you almost don't want to be too close coming into turn 1, just so you can get a real run going along the straight.
And McLaren is pretty quick in the straight though.
Yeah, doing quite well there, even with the slipstream. He wasn't able to catch him down the straight, despite having what looked to be a much better exit. So, well done to the McLaren there. It's I don't know, it's copped a bit, but I think McLaren is reasonably strong here. We've seen some good performances out of the McLaren here at Watkins Glen so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the McLaren in the fight and not just running away from everybody like it did in the 1.7 update. So yeah, good to see that it's competitive but not as OP. It's not an Audi, is what I'm saying. So yeah, everybody who's racing in the Audi and not winning should really feel bad.
I was going to say the highest placed Audi there is P17 each, so
yeah, I'm not sure if that tracks quite well.
Well, I mean, this split might be a slight exception, but the leaderboards make no exceptions. Ooh, as Johnson gets a bit of a 4-wheel slide out there, final corner there. Will Witherben look for a move into turn 1? He certainly is thinking about it. Late on the brakes. Ooh, he goes a little bit deep. Johnson gets the switch back. Great stuff there.
Very good move there from Johnson. Held that car brilliantly around the inside. And looks like probably hold on to the position if the McLaren does maintain that straight line speed we've seen, but maybe Witherben's just close enough now.
Yeah, again, it just doesn't seem that Honda has the top speed to get past him, so...
Yeah, it definitely seems like the catching in the second and third sectors more than anywhere else. But they're close.
looks like he's running some downforce, just the way he keeps up with him through the second and third sectors.
Yeah. I would say you're 100% there.
Yeah, I would have thought that second and third sector is where the McLaren would shine, because it's sort of medium, not really particularly low speed corners, and that's where the McLaren generally shows its strengths. So with 10 minutes to go, it seems as though Samuel has this one pretty much sewn up, barring any catastrophic incidents. But Chikoman closing the gap on Zolkefli ever so slowly. Samuel gapping Zolkefli ever so slowly. So I think our top three is pretty much settled. Vintana, I don't think will be able to close the gap to cover that penalty off.
And it's Scott only quarter of a second behind Raleigh, but we'll keep on this for the take 3. That's better.
Yeah, as you were saying earlier, I think, as you said, he's too close. It just doesn't actually get the toe.
Much closer than he has been, though. Having a look at every option outside. Oh, don't think it's the option there. They came very close there. Oh, no! Weatherburn.
Did he save it? Oh, he saved it.
He manages to
Save.
save
Well
it.
held.
Well held, but unfortunately that might be the end of that little battle unless he can catch up. He would have lost a bit of time there, but an unfortunate end to what was a great battle.
Convoy down to 16th, unfortunately.
Yes. Must have had
Bit of an oopsie.
another oopsie at some stage. It's okay though, we haven't been
That would've
catching
been
them,
the
so like you can make
Previous
up
lap he
anything.
did a 152, so I'm assuming he made a slight mistake there.
Yeah. Perhaps some traffic
So
slowing
he
him up.
does have Shaquille closing up behind him as we see the Mercedes there. We've seen the Mercedes. Oh,
Oh no!
Whoa, that's a
no.
rejoin.
that's not how you do that.
That was not pleasant.
Who got
Hill.
murdered there? Somebody.
Bercolini, I think.
Yeah.
Kept
Seems
going.
to keep going though. It's,
Might be a bit of net code.
Is he driving an Aston or a tank?
Yeah, it could just be a little bit of netcode because it doesn't look like he's picked up a great deal of damage. So, oh no, it's
A
pretty
little bit
beaten
damage
up.
on the right
Yeah.
hand side. Oh yeah, there we go. There. That's damage things.
Yep.
Who is that going past him though? That looks like Bartlett's car.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that was Bartlett going past. So I believe that was
But-
a 4 position.
Bartlett's showing P26, so he's unlapping himself maybe?
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bartlett unlapping.
So yeah, Bartlett, another one of the teams will be running in the 10 hour along with Bercolini as well.
Mm.
So yeah, hoping to have a better run of the 10 hour than he has of this race.
Yes.
Who is that? Is that Haslam? Haslam is really cutting his way through the field here after clearing Rochford. He's made up quite a lot of time.
Yeah, he's making up quite a few positions.
Our Herod's on the back of Rochford now.
Is that Haslam? Where's Cook? What happened to Cook? Because he
Cook
was
is
in
in-
between.
Just dealing with some
No.
laps.
So who is Haslam trying to overtake there?
Blue flag, maybe?
Yeah, I believe that.
No, but there's only 2 orange beamers, and it's Barker and Giacomin. So, sorry, my baboon brain can't quite process what's happening at the moment. But I'm feeling like Cook shouldn't be where he is.
Does seem.
Oh, there he is. Okay, it's right
Yeah,
behind
it's
him
just
now.
ahead.
But wait, there wasn't.
Yeah, there was
never
another
mind.
car in there. Yeah. No, I was confused a bit by that too. So I'm not quite sure what the order was there. I think some lap cars making it a bit confusing. The Cook's still in 10th with Hasnam chasing about a second behind.
So that's Barker. So who's the Ferrari who's on his back? Is that Denaldi or? So
Yeah,
that's
I'm not,
Haslam.
I'm not sure. Where's Denaldi?
So it must be Donaldi or Stefani, maybe?
Who's the Donaldi's round?
Yep.
It's not Donaldi's.
Very good timing.
Very
We
good timing to
established
go
that.
to Donaldi there.
Thank you, Mike. You could have just stayed on track. We would have found you. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, so then it must be Ristafani then.
Yeah, it must be Ristafani, yeah.
Pit window is now closed.
5 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel with a 3-second lead over Zolkefli.
Okay, so it is Ristafani. Okay,
Yeah.
my baboon brain has now caught up.
Yeah, it's too many green Ferraris. It's confusing. So, going to drop to third place, but maintaining that, even with the 10-second penalty. Giacomin is still just catching up, but it doesn't seem like there's any great urgency there, and Samuel's a bit up the road ahead, so as you said before, the top three pretty much set at this point. Giacomin's still with our fastest lap, so having a reasonably good drive there, I'd say, and should be happy enough with the result, although probably not as happy as he'd be if he was in first position.
They're really pulling away from Vintner now. The gap's gone from about 15 to 20 seconds in 2 laps.
Well, he's only an AM driver, so, you know.
We'll drive through for the Audi for that rejoin.
Yeah, that's
Probably fair enough.
to be expected, unfortunately. I mean, you know, look, we've all been there, but yeah, you've just got to be... Unfortunately, you just got to hold your position and wait for the cars around you to get past, even if you lose 10 spots. It's just the way it crumbles, unfortunately, if you have a spin there. We don't know the full extent of that, though. That might have been someone punting him off. But, yeah, unfortunate for him and for our actual AM leader, who looks like he had a little bit of a punt in there. Also has a 5-second penalty, but I'm not sure if he had that before the incident or not, but may have copped a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, no, he had that before.
did
We
have
were
that
discussing
before,
the
yeah.
gap to goers. So
That's
I think
right,
he's,
yeah.
So it looked, when we were on Bintner earlier, Johnson was not too far behind him.
No, there's
and,
about 0.6.
So I'm not sure. Bintner were a fairly slow lap, previous lap. Not sure if that's related to traffic or maybe just running wide somewhere. But be interesting to see if Johnson can push up to close the gap. There's probably maybe 2, maximum 3 laps remaining.
Manto's right behind Malik.
Hamanto is fast. Malik is dropping like a stone, so I'm not sure if he
Yeah. He may have... Yeah.
had an oopsie.
He's
Okay,
dropped
Johnson.
Starting into this race.
a number of positions there. Not sure what's happened to him there, but obviously a bit of an incident for Malik there, which is going to be worse because he's already got that 5-second penalty. So definitely out of the top 10 at this stage. Let's see if he can catch up to Haslam, but Haslam's reasonably far up the road.
It has put Hasnam into P2 for the Pro-Am class, so he'll be happy with that as he puts the pressure on Cook as well.
Yeah, right up behind.
We'd say it's a pressure cooker.
Perhaps. That might be an apt statement.
Sorry, Tom, I had to get one in at least.
That's your one for the week.
You're very unstuck there.
Oof, I was...
Too many green Ferraris.
Too many green Ferraris. It's Hasnam chasing down Cook still. They've been going at this for a little while. No penalties here, so this is 100% for position, both in the top 10, but they'll be going for 9th. There's a few extra points there, so Hasnam's going to be pushing it. Doesn't have much long to go in the race, though.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Black car letting him through there nicely.
Final lap now for the leaders, as Samuel has crossed the line. So if anybody wants to make a move, they should now do it, or very well that is. Yeah, Don, we say as an am, but I mean,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
come
was
on.
meant sarcastically. I don't... I did not mean that as if he was actually an inventor. He's clearly not in the correct class here. Definitely. Oh, was there contact there? It looks like there was contact there from Weatherburn. Takes the position, but will the stewards be having a look at that. I'm not quite sure if there was actually contact, but
There was certainly
There's
content.
definitely
there was
content,
definitely
yeah.
content, yeah. But yeah, as to whether there was any real contact there, whether we're now in 5th position. He's been chasing that for a while.
Yeah, as we see Samuel coming into the final sector, he is pretty much unchallenged. Giacomo is very close to Zorkefli. It doesn't really make too much difference,
Yeah, it doesn't make too much at this point.
but he has closed the gap. But yeah, Samuel, apart from a bit of a wild start, has done well to manage the penalty, manage the gaps, and had the pace to get his win. And if I'm not mistaken, this is his first sprint win. So GG there for him. Well done.
We'll be very happy with that.
Finish the race.
Well done, Shady.
So Kefli crosses in P2. He will drop down with that penalty, but I think it'll only be down to P3. Giacomo will get P2 and the fastest lap point. Vintner, the supposed AM, comes through the second last corner. He will take P4. And Jacob Weatherburn, Mr. Yoda himself, after a bit of a rough start, has done a fantastic job to crawl his way back into P5, with Johnson not too far behind him. Might be a review.
Yeah, he's got
of
5
that
seconds.
Yep,
because the
yep.
5
So
penalty.
those positions will swap. So Johnson will get 5th there, and Weatherburn will get... he won't drop further than 6th, though, because Barker is a bit of the ways behind here. Coming up now, touching the dirt a bit on the last lap.
So yeah, Barker here, Hermanto in P8. Hasnam with a great performance in the second stint there to take P2 in the Pro-Am class.
Yep. Good drives from this whole little pack there. Cook just getting in
Cook.
P10.
Unfortunate there for him, he was very much involved in that lead battle, but then things went a little bit askew. Malik crossing in P11, Herod P12, Scotty Rockford, who will be crossing the line in P13, with Ralahay after a bit of a rough start as well, crossing in P14. JLS, the pro, with the wrong badge, P15, and fan favorite, Mr. Milk himself, Jamie Conboy, P16 from P22. He was a little bit high up earlier, but had a couple of oopsies overall,
Just like
as he
that.
has another oopsie.
Just across the line there. Brings a very sad-looking McLaren home as the last one to cross the line there.
Adds to the repair bill for the boys.
Yeah, just Mr. McLaren not going to be too happy about that. Let's have a look at our standings. So we get a race. Yep. Okay, so yeah, with penalties applied?
Yep, penalties
Yes,
will be
penalties
applied
have
there.
applied. Yes, they have. Okay, so yeah, so we've got Samuel, Giacomo, Cleffy, Vintner, Johnson, Weatherburn, Barker, Hasnam, Cook, and Hermanto is our top 10. So a couple of penalties there, changing the positions. Malik dropping a bit, but overall, pretty much most of those guys starting in the top 10 or rounds. But good performances.
Yeah, quite a lot of penalties there, but yeah, overall been a good race. Some great battles throughout the field. Good little four-way battle for the lead through most of that race. So yeah, fantastic watching. And it is raining, just by the way, in
Now
the
it's raining.
practice.
in the practice 2 section. It has
So
now
yeah,
started
just
to
to-
rain.
Just to confirm, there's all carefully your Pro-Am winner, Hasnam and Herod. And in the AM class, Vintner is non-AM, but he gets the win. Thurkelini and Gowers, and let's say Scarman P3 in the AMs, because that seems fair.
I would say so as well. Yeah, good performances overall from everybody there. Fantastic, good, interesting race. Lots happening, and
Yeah, and a shout out to Mike Rick, the Valiant Knight, follow him on Twitch as well, for jumping in the absence of Mr. Neil Alexander taking over broadcasting. I think we can all agree he's done a pretty bang up job of that.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, no, well done to everybody.
It's been a pleasure to do the commentary with the pair of you. Hopefully we'll get to do this again at some point, and I'll probably I'll see you on track, most likely in your review mirrors, JP, come with the endurance event. You can wave goodbye to my Aston as you pass it each time, as you lap it consecutively.
Yeah, so just there for those in chat not aware, next week there won't be any sprint races, but we do have the 10 hours of Watkins Glen track we've just witnessed some fantastic racing on. So yeah, tune in on the 6th of August to watch 10 hours of what we just saw. So yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. Thank you, everybody in chat, anybody who... all our subscribers, all our supporters, everybody go check out OOR if you haven't checked us out before and you're interested in some good racing, if you want to compete in something like this in the future. We have a great rookie series and we have a whole bunch of other events that we run pretty regularly. So yeah, stay tuned everybody, and cheers to our commentary team from this race and from the previous race. And yeah, we will have to catch everybody in the next one.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks Tom.
Good.
Thanks Jack.
Thanks Peach. Thanks Mike. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good one, everybody.